Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Up and running, Sam Tallent. Get them headphones and join the fucking party. Get the microphone up about like a fist from your face.
Jamie, how's this? Do I sound powerful and elegant? Thank you.
Bro, you are powerful and elegant.
Thanks, man.
You are enough.
I appreciate that. I'm good enough.
I had a friend of mine, and she was asking me something just about comedy. And I go, I don't like my stuff. Like, no one likes their stuff. Like, you see it too much, it just like it gets in your head. And you're like, ugh. I look at it like a hater. And she goes, I just want you to know, no matter what, that you are enough. I go, what? I go, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying like I don't like my stuff, like I have a problem, like I'm a crazy person. No, I'm just like, that's just the process.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel good.
Right.
Like, but that thing that people say to people, you are enough. I just want you to know that you are enough.
Look, I don't need validation from you, lady.
She's a nice lady.
I'm sure she's a nice lady.
She's a very nice lady.
But I don't think you're going to her to be like, can you hold my hand through this difficult period?
I think some people do that to people, and they go fishing for that kind of response.
Yeah.
That you are enough. I'm like, no, I'm okay.
It's like, look, I know. Yeah. All right, look around, lady. I kind of made Austin a thing. Yeah, I know I'm okay. I mean, it's sweet of her, but...
No, she's awesome.
I also hate watching my shit, dude.
Hate it.
That'd be my Guantanamo. That making me watch all my old specials?
Oh,
yuck.
God damn it.
Or like a YouTube clip from like 2007.
That's the thing that you have to do too, like when working on new material.
Yeah.
I either watch it or listen to it.
Yeah.
Have to listen to it. Just have to. I gotta know like what makes me groan. What makes me go yuck.
What's the cringe in there?
Yeah, what's the yuck? How do I cut the yuck out of that?
Yeah.
It's just like you're gonna have that. You gotta look at your act like you're a hater.
Oh, for sure. I do. Luckily, I never have any moments where I'm like, oh, this is working out. I watch and I'm like, why is your leg like that? I can barely hear the joke. I'm like, Jesus Christ, look at your hair. When did that leave? Look how far that's receding. Jesus.
Yeah.
How long have you been shaving your head?
12 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm going there, man.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah?
Yeah. You don't think about it anymore. It's like one less thing to think about. If you have a good shaped head.
I don't.
Like some people have flat heads, like their head's flat, but now you got a new joke about having a flat head.
Yeah, then I have to turn around or have a mirror behind me.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Give him a little fucking...
I'm going to get into
give
props.
Him a little look at the flat.
Yeah. No, I don't have a good head. It's bumpy. I think if I shaved my head, I would go mutton chops. I would leave the chops.
Why don't you go fucking full Sufi beard? Yeah, just lower. Just the lower beard, like from Dagestan.
Amish? Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Amish.
Yeah.
Go underneath the chin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the apple
Amish
butter.
do it? They
Oh,
go
yeah.
underneath, right?
I think there's some kind of like recessive allele where they're not like God keeps them from having any hair on their cheeks.
There's so many Muslims who fight in the UFC who have shaved heads and they grow a full ass beard. There's the Amish one.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So he is shaving it.
That shit is not catching on with anybody.
No.
Yeah, that's a weird middle ground, right? Because he could eat food with no problem at all, which is like kind of a cop out.
You know what he's not eating?
What?
Pussy.
They
Those
don't
guys
eat pussy?
don't. I don't think so.
They're not allowed to eat pussy.
Those guys' forearms. Have you seen an Amish guy with his shirt off?
They jerk off a lot, I'm sure. But
You're
they have
sure?
to do it. They have to do it to memory, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like they can't be watching porn.
No.
The Amish bears
They just
typically
have wood carvings.
What did you say? Because Amish men shave their mustaches off, you may be wondering how now if an Amish are allowed to shave. While married men may shave their mustaches only, unmarried men may shave their beards too. Oh. The only prohibition on shaving applies to the beards of married men. Oh, okay. So it's like a wedding ring. So once you have a full beard, all the hoes need to leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
That's
I'm
what it
taking,
is.
ladies.
Yeah, he's taking bitches.
Yeah.
That's why he's growing this gross ass beard.
Yeah, God forbid they see your chin.
Isn't that funny that you're on the marketplace if you don't have a beard?
Yeah.
Like, you're this guy out there with no beard.
Yeah, you're swinging your peacocking.
Yeah, imagine the fucking Mrs. Amish and Mr. Amish have a fight and he just, watch this bitch.
Just half of it.
Just shaves his beard off. I'm halfway out the door.
She starts crying, runs outside, makes some butter real quick.
Make some butter. They don't have any electricity. They make their own houses.
Dude, those Amish, the way they raise houses so quick.
Oh, they're really good at it.
Yeah. And then Mennonites, they're like rough around the edges.
I don't know any Mennonites, but I did meet one with Ari Shafir at the airport, and I found out because he asked her, "What are you?"
Yeah. Classic Ari.
Oh, no, it wasn't at the airport. I'm sorry. It was at a rest stop. It was at a rest stop in Massachusetts, I think. I think we were in between gigs, just driving to a gig.
What are you?
What did you ask her? What are you?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
She's wearing an outfit.
What's up with the bonnet? Which one are you?
It is fucking weird though, man. That it's you know what's weird is that when people do a really shitty job, it's a cult. When they do a really good job, it's a religion. But it's basically the same system that it works on in the human brain.
Yeah.
It works on the same mechanisms. Like someone has all the answers and they have a connection to a higher power. Mm-hmm. That's why, you know, one of the things that creeps me out about atheism, it's not atheism itself. It's that I think that tendency to just find a group of ideas that you will wholesale subscribe to is like built into us. I think it's a cultural thing like war. And I think when people don't have that, if it's not like if they don't have Christianity or Islam or Buddhism or Judaism, whatever they don't have, they'll put it into something else. I think it's a normal part of being a person for some strange reason.
Well, yeah, we were trying to find community all the time, right?
Uh-huh.
We're seeking ways to like make whatever our small group is be safe and maybe work with other like-minded groups. And when it comes to like atheism, it's wild when people become fundamental about that. You know? Like when you're devout to the idea of atheism, it's like
Exactly.
I don't think there's anything after this, you know, but I'm also not going to like become an apostate from any other ideas, you know?
I don't know why anybody would be sure one way or the other.
Oh, I don't know, because you have to be, I think.
Unless it would help you if you were.
Yeah.
So the thing about it, like Jordan Peterson says this, that you should live your life as if God is real.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live your life as if God is real, you will definitely live a better life. I was like, that's a very interesting way of thinking about it, because if you're wrong, there's no consequences, because
Right.
you just die. But if you're living that way, at the very least, you'll have less anxiety.
Oh, for sure.
You'll have more of a sense of purpose, and
Yeah.
you'll probably do the right thing more often, because you'll be sort of like aiming to that, like looking to do, like as a good Christian, like I know a lot of people that are Christians that are really good people. And it's because they aim towards that. They think about that all the time. They think about what would God want me to do. They think about what does God teach. And they're aiming in that. They're still human. We're all fucked.
For sure.
But they're aiming in that direction.
Let's underline that. We are all fucked.
We're all
Yeah,
fucked.
let's not forget that.
The whole population.
I don't like when people do things because they are trying to cash checks in heaven. I do like it when you're just doing it because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Like when you give a homeless guy $5 and he's like, God bless you. Yeah. I'm the kind of dickhead who's like, there's no God involved in this. This is one man trying to help one man. I'm doing this because I think it's going to benefit you, not because I'm trying to get up to the big man.
That's true, but maybe he's saying God bless you, like he's so happy that you did that for him.
It's the nicest thing he knows how to say.
He really hopes good things happen to you as well.
Sure, I know.
It's a weird thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you feel like if you buy into it, you're being a dupe. You're getting duped. You know, oh, they got you. They got you with that nonsense. What'd they get you with that Mormonism shit? Yeah, you think you're going to get your own planet when you die, stupid?
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you're going to pick one.
I have a friend in California, and she was a Mormon for a long time, and she decided to stop being a Mormon. And when she decided to stop being a Mormon, one of the craziest things that she said was, she goes, I realized that I was way more vulnerable to like weird culty stuff like spirituality and yoga and that kind. She goes, I felt like because I'd accepted devout Mormonism my whole life, hadn't questioned anything. That as an adult, I think she left in her late 30s or 40s. So as an adult, like she just became vulnerable to like kind of hucksters, energy healers, and that kind of shit. Like it seemed like, oh, that makes sense. Like that's what I'm looking. Like there's a fucking program in our head where we want to believe nonsense, and whether that program is attached to the Republican Party or whether it's attached to being a fucking Buddhist or being a. Did you see the Dalai Lama sucking on that kid's tongue?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Could you...
Slurping a boy tongue?
In front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like,
a whole bunch of people.
What the fuck?
You thought you were going to get away with this?
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? I watched it. I was like, this is wild.
Oh.
I remember they tried to cancel him a few years back because he was talking about marriage, and they said, you took a vow of celibacy. Like, how do you feel about this? And he's like, I have so many friends, and they're married, and then they get divorced, and they're not happy, and then the woman takes all their money, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And this woman said something to the tune of, well, you know, some women, they make money too. He's like, good one.
High five.
It was something, oh, sure.
Yeah. Now I've heard everything,
It was
lady.
one of those fucking, it was a weird interview, man, but it was weird. Like, he's like parroting out these tropes,
Right.
you know, about marriage and divorce. And it's really funny. It's like, because some of them fail. But this is supposed to be a spiritual leader.
Right. He's supposed to be like completely ascended and
It's
bigger
also
than any
supposed
fought.
to be. He's supposed to be saying that some marriages are wonderful and
Yeah.
beautiful because they are.
Right.
Like for him to say, "Oh, what I heard is they take your money."
Yeah. Well, it's like
bro.
your dad's friend who doesn't get laid anymore. You ever hang out with him at the bar,
Yeah, but
you
your
know?
dad's friend who doesn't get laid anymore doesn't have a video of him sucking on a kid's tongue.
might,
Like,
dude.
what the fuck,
It's-
man?
It's probably a VHS tape. he's got on Laserdisc.
What, did they record? I don't think Laserdisc record.
I have no idea.
I don't think they did. That's hilarious.
The Dalai Lama also said at one point, he was like, we got to keep Europe for Europeans.
Yeah, I
He
heard
was
that
like,
too.
too many
That
refugees are coming in.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what the fuck are you saying, man?
Hey, Dalai Lama, just let the kids sit on your lap. That's enough.
Yeah, hey, dude, how about don't do that?
Quit smooching the kids in general.
Yeah, don't tell a kid to suck your tongue.
Yeah.
Is there a...
Especially not on camera.
that seems like there should be jail time for something like that. Like, what is that?
I don't think he can get in trouble.
In Tibet, sticking out one's tongue is known as a traditional greeting stemming from a 9th century myth about an unpopular king with a black tongue.
His tongue
When the
was
king
doing
died, the
blackface.
Tibetans revealing their tongues to show they had to become his incarnate. Whoa. Tongue sucking does not appear part of the tradition. That's where you crossed the line. If they just stuck tongues at each other, bro, you would have skated scot-free.
The PR team is working hard spin on that one.
Hard spin.
We
Wait till
gotta-
Rachel Maddow gets a hold of it.
I know.
She'll find a way.
It happened in February. And it came out like couple days ago, which is kind of weird.
So it's a hit campaign against the llama?
Yeah, it's like a few weeks old.
I saw him
Well,
talk once.
Sometimes it just takes a while for something like that to catch.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But today,
I mean, if it was
Those
Don
violence
Lemon, I would say, yeah, they're trying to get rid of him. But is the Dalai Lama.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
they
know.
can get him out.
I have no idea why it would have came out.
How do you get out the Dalai Lama? Dalai Lama was born like if it was like I don't even mean to pick on Don Lemon. I mean saying in like someone who's on television. It was some like, but even then, it's like people if that information's available, like if someone look how many people were there.
Yeah.
That's obviously like a cell phone footage, right? Is that what it is?
Well, it was a fundraiser for some kind of like Indian tech company.
How wild.
Yeah.
How wild.
Uh-huh.
Just be kissing a kid in front of everybody.
Which is already
At a tech
too much.
company. Tongue kissing.
Yeah.
Suck on my tongue. What are you talking about?
I've never had a kid that close to my own face where I could say, suck on my tongue.
Isn't it interesting? It's interesting, like, what we choose to consider intimate contact. Because hands, like, if he had that boy's hand in his hand and he put his hand over it and said, I wish you a wonderful, happy life.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful human being and just go out there and be kind to everybody. Everybody, that's cool.
It's a sweet gesture.
Yeah, it's a sweet gesture. Mm-hmm. When you, like, fully hug someone, you can hug them for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
But you got to let go.
Uh-huh.
You can't, like, stand there for 10 minutes just, like, rubbing their back. People go, hey, Dalai Lama, let the kid go.
Hey, your robe
you
is getting
violated
tinted,
the
Dalai.
time. Yeah, you broke the time clock. There's a time clock that goes when someone hugs.
Uh-huh.
You get, like, a real good friend, it's like you got, like, a 10-second countdown.
Let it linger.
10-second countdown.
Uh-huh.
10 seconds is a long time to be hugging someone.
Oh, it's a
like,
lot.
Ready? Here's 10 seconds. And go.
So here we are. We're touching chest to chest. Our genitals are near each other. I can
still hugging.
smell your neck right now.
We're still hugging.
Uh-huh.
All right, now we're done hugging.
Oh, man.
That's a kind of a hug.
That's a
But
long-ass
I've done
hug.
that. I've done a 10-second hug with a good friend.
Sure. It feels good.
But now with a little boy that I don't know in the middle of nowhere.
Also, how did that boy
Look,
get
don't
in there?
show me this. I don't want to see this again.
Oh.
I don't want to see this. That boy would snap back like a cobra ready to fucking strike.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you making me suck your tongue, you old fucking weirdo?
It's like when the noodle hits your lips finally and it like snaps like the sound.
But what I'm getting at is like it's interesting that like kissing is such an intimate act. Like it clearly is, but I wonder how that even got started. Like people's breath must have been horrible.
Oh,
back in the
terrible.
day.
Rotting meat in there.
Oh God, no dentists.
Yeah,
your
just-
teeth all fell out.
Uh-huh.
and they got knocked out. You probably got infections from cracked teeth from getting hit with a rock. You know,
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people died from like mouth infections.
Well, yeah,
and
you're
shit.
like trying to eat everything you find.
Yeah, you don't even know what's edible.
Yeah.
And when did they start kissing?
I don't know.
Let's find that out. Let's
Yeah.
take a guess. When do you think kissing was invented? What if it was like 1900?
Yeah, whenever France became a country,
What if like nobody kissed until like the 1900s?
it was a revolution.
I'm gonna guess it's like some Mesopotamia shit.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that it started like thousands.
Cradle
of
of
years ago.
civilization.
Yeah,
I'd
but-
say pre-pyramids.
Whoa,
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
guess.
What else did you have to do back then?
Make a toothbrush? Like, why would you kiss somebody? That seems crazy. People
We were
just wanna
figuring out
fuck.
what holes are safe.
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah.
But you could wash the body off, like eating pussy and blowjobs and stuff. That kind of makes sense. You just want to get crazy.
I think blowjobs happened before sex did. I bet you went mouth
doubt it.
first.
No.
There was a fur-covered hole down there. You're going to try
but
and jam up in that
watch
thing?
chimps. Chimps fuck each other. They
Oh, I've
hardly
watched
ever
Chimps
blow
Fuck
each other.
Show. All right.
I bet you have.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you have.
I've been down that
so
road.
So your guess is pre-dynastic Egypt. So
Sure.
5,000.
I just said
6,000 years
pyramids,
ago.
but yeah.
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 Well, that's like 5,000 years ago.
Okay.
It's like, supposedly. They don't even really know. What do you think? Jamie? What's
I've got two answers. I was trying to figure out which
But what
one's
was your
right.
question?
I
What
didn't
did you-
have.
you didn't
I-
have one?
No. The first answer Google gives back is the first recorded kiss is 1500 BC, which sounds recent.
interesting?
It's very recent.
Right below that is a link to a longer piece that says some researchers believe that kissing began millions of years ago as a result of mouth-to-mouth feeding.
Interesting.
And then that's going into like, well, why didn't
Interesting.
everybody do it then?
Because you had to chew the food for the child?
Do you know that you can get syphilis from kissing people?
No.
I didn't either. I saw it on a TikTok video. Must be true.
How
It was a
dirty is that
doctor.
mouth?
It was a Instagram Reels. That's what it was.
Oh.
No, he was like having this guy standing there, and all these different girls were coming by and kissing him, and he was pointing out all the different types of diseases that you can get from mouth kissing someone. Yeah, herpes and syphilis and gonorrhea, all these different things you
What?
can get from mouth kissing people.
I thought it was just herpes. That was my biggest fear.
I thought so too. This
Somehow
guy
I
fucking,
dodged that bullet.
This guy figured out a way to scare the fuck out of everybody, and they're never gonna kiss again.
I'm going to keep kissing. I'm still smooching my old lady when I
Well,
get
you're
home.
married,
Yeah.
but if you're some wild dude at the bar, you might die. Secondly, kissing can also transmit syphilis, which may present as an oral what is that? Canker sore?
Yeah,
Canker sore? T. palladium can invade mucous membranes through abrasion. Therefore, oral
canker, yeah.
canker. It is canker, right?
think
Can
so.
result from kissing with a syphilis patient. Therefore, kissing with the syphilis patient.
Right.
If you're that horny and you're in the fucking hospital with them, like, come on, just one kiss.
That deleted scene from Patch Adams. He's smooching all the sailors when they get back from...
He's like, they don't have much time to live.
Yeah.
Trying to make them feel better.
Yeah, they need this.
They give them some love. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? You're on a deathbed.
I would smooch someone on their deathbed. Easy.
Yeah, especially if you love them.
Yeah,
You
you
have
have
worried
to.
about a little syphilis. They cure that now.
Also, there's no way that I'm not dying before my wife. So, you know.
Is your wife healthy?
Oh, yeah. What's that supposed to mean, Joe?
Not that healthy, Sam.
I'm okay.
I think you're a comedian.
I
You're
am a
very funny.
comedian.
You're a
Well,
very funny guy.
Thank you.
Most funny guys are out of their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And it presents itself in a bunch of different ways.
Uh-huh.
So when you say something like that, it kind of opens the door for me to say, well, why would that be, Sam?
You think I'm in here wearing this 4XL sweatshirt in the Austin heat because I'm confident about my body?
Well, I think it's just because you don't have a sweet Brody t-shirt.
I don't, dude.
Positive push.
Yeah. I think if you saw me nude, you'd go, huh.
No. I
Yeah.
think I'd go, I've seen that before.
You think so?
Sure.
I like to think I
Sure.
have a unique situation under here.
You don't.
No?
Nah.
What?
No.
I'm like
It's average
Butterbean.
American at the beach.
Well,
It's normal.
I'm very good at the beach. Water is not a problem for me, dude. It's those damn sailing vessels that keep trying to harpoon me.
When I was a kid, my buddy Jimmy, his dad used to be able to go to the ocean, and he drank a lot of beer, and he would float. He would
Oh, yeah.
literally float,
Dude.
Like this dude was living the life. I was like, maybe it's
Oh.
worth it being fat just for that.
I'm so buoyant.
He would go there and just get out in the ocean and float, and I would sink like a fucking rock. And I
Yeah.
was like, kind of jealous.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're jealous of me, Joe.
I'm kind of jealous that you could just float.
You know what's a fun move for me? Laying on the sand and the waves crashing me and spinning me like a nude egg. That's my favorite thing to do in the world, man.
That's nice. Do you wear goggles or you just take it raw dog?
I'll wear some goggles.
Yeah, you don't want that salt water in your eyes, right?
No.
Does that shit bother you?
I go open eyes. I'll go open eyes in a hot tub like a freak.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how you get
is-
syphilis.
That's how you get like chlorine in your eyeballs.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chlorine can be good for you, right? I have a chlorine pool. Like we were talking with David Cho the other day, and he says he's got some new shit that does like, what does it use?
Get oxygenated.
Oxygenated water.
Which is like, okay,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, whatever works, right?
it's already oxygen in there, but
Yeah. So you can breathe the water?
My pool guy said it's hard to do a saltwater one out here in Texas, though. He said that there's something about the heat and humidity. It's like you're going to be like still dosing it up with chlorine.
Yeah.
Because that algae just grows.
A lot of my best moments are aquatic, honestly.
Really?
I excel. On land, I'm not that great. But you get me submerged.
Do you ever heard the aquatic ape theory?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you into that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
I think I'm proof. I think I'm a
It's a
vestigial
crazy
tail.
theory.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of interesting things that are attached to it. Like the idea that babies come out like so full of fat, whereas other babies of other primates are like sinewy and muscular, and they can take care of themselves way quicker than we can.
Yeah, we're frail.
Yeah, we're super frail.
Yeah, we're just soft little
We're
mushers.
super frail, but is that the price you pay for being so fucking smart?
I think you need
Yeah, it
to.
has to balance out.
Yeah. If we were just apex predators and also able to tie our shoes.
Right. But that's why we associate like meatheads with being stupid.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's no good. It's tough when a meathead is also like very well learned, because then there's just like a bunch of stuff to be jealous of, you know? Like the first time we met, I don't know if you remember this. We were in front of your beautiful comedy club, and it was Tim Dillon was there.
Yeah.
And we went to shake hands. And it was my first time I met you, and we shook like this. Yeah.
What do we do?
My fingers.
Oh, your
My
fingers
fingers
curled
were,
up?
yeah, and I was like, well, I just blew it.
I don't even remember it.
Oh, I do. I've thought
Oh.
about it a lot,
Come
Joe.
on, man.
Yeah, no, I was like, well, that's not how you shake hands as a human
Guess what?
being.
We just did it again. You want some of that?
It felt good. What is that?
It's marijuana.
Oh, I'm good, man.
Scared of that shit?
I used to smoke it 24/7.
What happened?
I started having panic attacks. Yeah, it started giving me like heart attack symptoms.
Those are fun.
No, I wrote it out too. I tried for like 3 years after that shit started happening. I would just be like getting high in a car, and I'd feel like something flutter in my chest, and I'd be like, well, this is how I go down, waiting in line at Chick-fil-A.
Maybe it was the wings of angels.
It could have been, yeah. Yeah, it was that LDS lady, that Mormon lady who loves
Maybe
snake
it
oil so
was.
much she believes in Capricorns.
In the arms of the angels.
I see your
That's what it
lighter.
is. That's the flittering. That's the flittering inside of you.
I mean, when I go down, I'm going to go down in a
You think
big,
so?
bold
You're
way.
thinking about it.
Of course, all the time.
How often? How old are you now?
35?
You look good for 35.
Come on. Come on, Joe. What the fuck, man? I see
What
through
age
this.
are you pushing for?
I would like to hit 70. That'd be sick.
Oh, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because the meat's not marbled the way you think it is. Like, yes, there's this like topsoil of soft, doughy fat.
but underneath there is some bulk.
yeah.
Did you do sports as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Do you
All state.
exercise at all now?
Yeah.
Oh, were you all state in
Yeah.
what?
All state football?
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Shane would have been a hell of an offensive line.
Why don't you and Shane get together and fucking snap each other into shape? Shane has actually gotten into shape.
I
He looks
know.
a lot better.
Yeah.
He's starting to look bulky again.
Uh-huh.
Starting
Yeah.
to look big.
He's obsessed with his biceps.
Shows the guns.
Yeah,
Shows
I
the
know.
guns. They're pretty big.
I know.
Big guy.
And like, there's this like cage fighter in Arkansas that used to open for me, Chris Pierce, and he like made me buy weights during pandemic because he just like body shamed me to the point of me being like, well, it's either this or a bullet and a gun, you know. So I got in there and I've been like, deadlifting and shit and everything with my legs. It's the upper body that I fear because it's so weak.
Well, you can get into shape, buddy.
All right, I'm trying. I want to live.
Okay.
As I light a cigar.
Listen,
at 1:30.
We can help you.
Yeah,
I know people in Denver.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good gyms in Denver.
I know. I live in Fort Collins now.
Oh,
And
how far is that?
An hour.
Okay.
I'm
There's
also on
gotta
the
be some-
road all the time.
Right.
So it's really hard to be a human being when you're
It's hard.
out there.
Yeah, the road is tricky. Like you gotta treat it like work. You
She's
know?
a
Like,
fickle bitch, the road.
When you get into that hotel room, you want to take a nap, but you really can't. You really got to go to the gym.
Well, you want to nap after you whack.
That too.
You want to pull pud, and then you want to nap. And then
if
you
I
want to eat
know I
something
need
terrible.
to nap, that's when I'll give me a little risky.
I gave it up.
Gave up eating off.
I got to save it for my wife.
Oh,
I got to give her my essence.
I get it.
Yeah.
Trying to make a kid.
No.
You just want a good volume.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm worried about is heft of load. I want it to be a bulky deposit.
Imagine if like your self-esteem was connected to the size of your load.
When you're a lad, it is, dude.
I mean, but sort of.
Yeah.
Not so crazy. Like if it's a big one, it's like, whoa. But if it's like a regular one, it doesn't like bum you out.
No. In fact, I'm excited when it's little.
Well, are you? Really?
Yeah, it's less of a mess.
Ah, there you go.
Because when you're in a hotel, you know where it goes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta shower off
Immediately.
immediately.
Yeah, you just glaze the ham and then you go
Or-
hop in the shower.
Just do a gator roll in the sheets. It's up to you. It's totally up to you.
Make it the Hyatt's problem. Yeah, but then you have that sheet stuck to you and you look like the dumpling paper. Well, not you, but my body, you
Just
know.
live in shame.
I do.
Just live in shame.
That's what we do.
Just accept it.
If I was confident, I wouldn't be funny, you know? It's the craziest part of this whole thing.
Well, it's definitely like a motivating factor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, like the different motivating factors that people get into when they get into comedy. Like, what year were you when you thought about doing it?
Dude, there's like a video of me as like a 2 or 3 year old sliding into the kitchen on my knees saying, I just flew in from Vegas and boy, are my arms tired. It was like a preconceived, like there's no thought. I'd have no memory of not wanting to be a comedian.
Wow. What year were you? How old were you, rather, when you first tried it?
2005, I was 18.
Wow. That's a good time.
Yeah.
I started when I was 21 because I thought you had to wait until you were 21 to get into the bars.
To get into the bars.
But then I met a guy there who was 19. I was like, how'd you get in here?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, you just got to tell them that, you're here to just do comedy, and they make sure you don't drink.
They X your hands. You stand like by the door. I
Is
did
that
all
what it
that
is?
shit too. Yeah.
Oh,
The Squire Lounge, the Lions Lair in Denver when I was
dude,
starting.
That's great.
Yeah.
What a good time to start.
Dude, it was perfect. And also, girls were involved now. Like all of
Ah.
a sudden, I was like, desirable.
Because you're funny.
Because you're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're also like bright-eyed, and I have this like all-consuming romance to my life,
Right.
And
Well, there's a thing about someone who's obsessed with a goal. Like,
Yeah.
it's very attractive to people because it's like secretly what everybody kind of wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
In some, not everybody, but a lot of people want to be in some ways like really dedicated to some dream.
yeah, it's
There's
admirable.
a great video that we put up on the Mothership Instagram site, and it's Bill Burr. And Bill Burr is talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You know that video?
Yeah, where you're
let's
sleeping
play
on
it.
a couch.
Let's play it because it's fucking. What he says is amazing. It like speaks to every comic who got through that and made it, and every comic who's in the middle of it right now. It's on mine too. You can find it on mine.
You don't. It always leads to something better. Always.
Reset
All right?
it because you said
Starving artist.
You don't hurt yourself going for a dream.
Lose when you go after a dream.
Here it is.
You don't. It always leads to something better. Always. All right? Starving artist. I slept on a futon until I was 36. I don't fucking regret any of it. I was dating this woman, and I said I had a spot I had to go do, and it paid $8 at the comic strip during the week. Tuesday night, I went down there, and I came back. I tried out a new bit, and I was doing and afterwards, I was at home in my apartment, and I was doing this silly dance in the kitchen because I had a new bit, and I was psyched because I had gone through this period where I wasn't coming up with any new material. And she was laughing, and then she got a sad look on her face, and I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "I wish I had a job where I only got paid $8, yet I came home and I did a silly dance in the kitchen." The responsible thing to do is to listen to your heart. It wasn't hard to work at the shitty job because I was always thinking about the exciting job I was going to do afterwards. And every night that I just went up on stage, and if it just went moderately okay, I couldn't believe it. I have to be honest with you, like, I couldn't fucking believe that I was actually doing it. That I had a dream and I was making it happen. And I still remember the first time I really went on stage and I actually got in the zone for what was considered a zone at the level comic I was. And I only was in the zone for about 8 seconds. I was at Nick's Comedy Stop in Framingham on Route 9. It doesn't even exist anymore. And I just got on this roll of laughter that I was actually able to pause and fucking be in the moment and enjoy it rather than being like, "Oh my God, what's my next joke? What's my next joke?" And that fucking feeling can carry you through a fucking shitty job for a week. Freddie Stone, the excitable boy, that's what he went by. I did a room for him and he gave me $5 gas money. I'd probably spent 10 to get there, and I couldn't fucking believe it. And I was like, I did that and they gave me this. I couldn't fucking believe it. At what point, just listen to the sound of my voice as I'm talking about this. Have you ever had that level of excitement doing any other fucking job? That's what it's like when you go after a dream job. So nothing is worse than not going after it.
Yeehaw.
Gets me fucking fired up, dude.
Yee fucking ha.
Yes. I had no regrets. I was eating out of dumpsters.
Yeah.
I was sleeping on floors.
You ate out of a dumpster?
Hell yeah, dude.
What'd you get out of a dumpster?
You'd go to 7-Eleven, and you would get, when they threw out the chicken wings and the pizza.
Did you time it? So
Yeah, he knew the time.
As it hit the dumpster, you could get in there quick?
There was a window, you know. There was about a half hour to an hour when he knew it was going to hit the dumpster.
What's the best thing you ever got out of a dumpster?
Croissants.
Damn.
And bagels in upstate
Were they
New
in
York.
the package still?
No. They were
just
on
free?
trash, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, no's right. But also, I didn't have a job, you know.
What was the trash that they were on, though? Are we talking cardboard boxes?
There were some boxes.
Or were we talking food and coffee grounds and shit?
Yeah, it was all sorts,
Oh,
you know.
boy.
Yeah. But I didn't have to wake up at any time, you know. It was a survival mechanism because I was attacking stand-up so hard.
Wow.
Yeah. Sleeping
That's
on the
awesome.
ground, taking Greyhounds, all that shit. Now you look back and you're like, that's romantic.
I remember the bus days.
Yeah.
I did the bus to at least 2 gigs that I can remember. It
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. When you're on the bus, man, you're on just like, who knows how many serial killers are with you? Who knows how many fucked up people are on that bus?
I was the only white boy on a bus from Houston to Lafayette, Louisiana.
How was that?
It was awesome. It was a mobile party, dude. It was like a cameo
Really?
video. Yeah, because I was sitting in the back, and then the bus loaded up, and people were passing around bottles of gin, and I had a weed hash pen. So as soon as that gin bottle hit me, they all like looked at me, and I was like, and then I hit the weed pen and blew it out, and everyone was like, all right. And then the pen circulated. By the time I got off that bus, I was blackout drunk, but boy, was I invited to a lot of barbecues. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do church better. They do buses better.
Yeah.
Black folks got a lot of stuff figured out
Very
that white
admirable.
people haven't figured out yet.
Yeah, we're so uptight, man.
Yeah, well, their church is definitely more fun.
Yeah, they have
There's no
gospel
more
music.
fun in America than the black churches. They dance and sing, and that's why I'm sure you've seen that video of Biden at a black church.
Oh, yeah.
And just standing there like not knowing. Everybody's like having a great fucking time. My favorite video from a black church ever is the "I'm Not Gay No More."
Dude, slam dunk.
That guy deserves a goddamn Academy Award for just the entertainment value of that video.
And the acting, because he was clearly still gay.
He's delivered, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
Look at him.
Like men no more.
Look at how he's dancing.
Women. I said women.
And my favorite part is when everybody dances with him, and they do like one of the gayest things ever. They surround him like a gangbang.
And he loves it.
There's like 30 guys around him.
Look at his complex bow tie.
That bow tie is outrageous for a straight man.
Gay no more. I am delivered.
It's again? Would you play it again?
I
Bro,
think it's on a loop.
why are you lying in church? That's the same
poor
way that
guy.
a 12-year-old boy that is straight lies
Yeah.
about getting pussy, where he's like,
Right.
I've had pussy.
All
Women,
kinds
women,
of
women,
pussy.
women.
All kinds, bro. Yeah, now they're all dancing together.
I think he came out recently and was like, that was a lie. I'm still very
Of
gay.
He's got a
course.
popular Instagram account.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Because
Live your
that's what's
truth.
fucked up about that is that,
Yeah.
like, if you want to get accepted in that religion, they have a thing about gay people.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of religions, not just that one, not just Christianity, but so. Andrew
Delivered.
Caldwell. Mr. Delivered.
It's spelled
That's
wrong.
hilarious.
Delivered.
But that's the best way to say it. I am delivered.
That's good branding.
That's not bad. Now we helped him. Give him a little boost.
Got a
Dude.
morning show.
It's just fucked that you can't be both religious and gay. Like, what? Come on.
Gay guys are super fun. Black guys are super fun. Gay
Yeah.
black guys.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There's
That would
no
be the
much
greatest
fun.
church of all time.
It's the great. Well, I
Gay
don't know about
black
church.
church?
I think they call that the club.
That's true it too.
It's just a foam party.
Yeah, dude. When we lived in Hollywood, right down the street from the Comedy Store was Boys Town.
Oh,
and if you
yeah.
drove there on the way to the 405, it's 5 blocks of partying,
It's
man.
going off.
They're going off.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
randomly see dudes with like chaps on
Yeah.
and cowboy hats with no shirt.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just kissing on the street.
Wearing sunglasses at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I always joke around about it, but it's like 5 blocks of no one saying no. Mm-hmm. Because it's all yang, no yin, and no one can get pregnant.
Suck my tongue. It's a lot of that.
Okay, here's the suck my tongue thing. Here's the problem with that video. Here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama thing. Because the tinfoil hat 4chan style conspiracy theory is that there's elite pedophiles that run the world.
Uh-huh.
Right? And I'm always reluctant to buy into that. But then I watch a few documentaries, and then I read a few cases, and then you hear about the Epstein Island thing, and then he gets out of it the
Boys
first time.
Town, the
and
Franklin
then
scandal.
there's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
And you go, how? Like, does that still exist? Like, is it happening right now?
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
it? And someone's going to uncover it. The Catholic Church.
Uh-huh.
How crazy is
The
that?
Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he just.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Maybe he just likes tongue
the Dalai
sucking.
Lama.
Maybe he just thinks it's fun.
Yeah.
It's funny and silly.
It was a bit he was doing?
Yeah, a little funny thing.
We've all
He's doing a little
bombed.
Boy.
Yeah.
We've all had a boy suck our tongue.
Yeah, you know.
What's the big deal?
If you thought it was going to get a laugh.
Yeah, if you thought it would kill, it's a good closer. Yeah, just a freak. It's shock jock stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Bubba the Love Sponge.
I like Bubba.
I got nothing against Bubba. It's a hilarious name.
Bubba's a good guy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
I think that it's legit, man.
yeah, maybe.
But is
it's
it
just,
chicken or the egg?
Right. That's the thing that people always say about whatever it's child molesters in particular.
Yeah.
That someone did it to them,
Right.
and that they're
Hurt people
somehow
hurt
not-
people.
Yeah, and that they're somehow or another paused in that stage of their emotional development where
Yeah.
they got raped.
It's like when you hear an adult woman who still talks like a 9-year-old girl, you're like, oh no.
Ooh.
What happened here?
Some girls do that just to play dumb with you. So
Yeah.
they can rope you in.
Uh-huh. Boy, do I fall for that.
And then you hear them on the phone with their accountant. And
Yeah.
You go, whoa.
So you have an accountant?
This bitch
Why
can
are you
talk.
fucking me?
Why? How come she can talk so well? When she's around me, she plays dumb. That'd be a great move for a girl. Go after some old billionaire.
Uh-huh.
Just
Anna
play
Nicole
dumb.
Smith?
Oh well, I don't think she played. I think that was like a real clear transactional agreement.
Dude, she got me going as a young buck.
She was hot as fuck.
Bro, there's so much woman.
So much woman.
So much
That was a
woman.
big old Texas woman.
Yes, big
That was like
hair.
160 pounder.
I'd bet 220 by the end.
Yeah, the end is not what I'm going on.
Oh, I'm going on the end.
I'm going on the thicker days.
Yeah, when I could actually get her. Yeah, when I had a shot.
The end. If you just had a bag of pills, she'd been yours.
Oh, yeah, you just
See,
shake
that's her
'em.
in the early days.
Yeah, and look,
Yeah, she was.
lovely. But I'm talking deathbed Anna Nicole Smith. Whew, boy.
That's her a little larger.
Yeah, she's punishing that guy's lap. That's what I'm talking
That guy's
about.
getting hurt.
Yeah, when your
His
femurs
thighs.
are sore.
His thigh. He's gonna get nerve damage from that. That's dangerous.
God damn, dude.
She was super hot when she was young.
I think top to bottom, I see no faults in her.
Yeah, well, she's a fucking genetic specimen, and then there's a lot of,
Thank you,
surgical
Jamie.
intervention
Thank you for bringing me
to
back.
make them. Isn't it fascinating that like big giant fake tits are so attractive to men, and it's so obvious? It's like the most obvious trick of all time. The most obvious trick.
Yeah.
Like we know 100% of the time when they're fake, and no one cares.
Well, we also love up close magic, and we know that's a ruse.
Yeah, but us up close magic is like way more deceptive.
Yeah.
They're really good. I had David. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he doing? David Blaine freaked me the fuck out, man, because Jamie's good at spotting this shit too. And Jamie sat there. He goes, "I'm just gonna watch everything he does. I'm gonna keep my eyes on him, and I'm gonna try to figure out what he's doing."
Yeah.
And he could not figure it out. And the dude rolled his sleeves up too to show it. It was wild shit. He was doing some wild shit.
Yeah.
He was doing some sleight of hand that was like. He might know real witchcraft.
Yeah, yeah.
This might be like one of them comic book things.
He's
where
a
guy
bruja.
makes a living like being a magician, but he's actually a wizard.
Uh-huh.
Like legitimately.
Gandalf
Right?
still had to pay the bills.
Didn't you feel like that?
I felt.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
It's not real. He's not a real person.
I also didn't want to know because then it ruins it.
That
but,
does, dude, yeah.
but then he
Fucks
made
it.
me do things that was like totally real. Like when I stuck that metal rod through his skin, I'm like, I know what you're doing. You just can deal with pain.
Did you see what happened to him recently at his show in Vegas?
No.
2 accidents happened.
Oh no.
With Blaine?
Yeah, the first one was crazy, but then another one happened. First one, it's an illusion, if you will. There's like a spike, and then there's like bags or cups over one of the spikes, and you gotta like.
Oh, and he hit
figure
the
out-
spike?
He pulled someone from the crowd, and they picked the wrong one, and his hand went right through it.
Oh no! A guy in the audience did.
Oh, it was a woman, but yeah.
Oh no! A woman's hand.
No, put his hand through it.
Oh,
not
Jesus
someone
Christ!
from the audience. Sorry. And then another one, he jumped off of a very high thing into boxes and hit the ground and separated his shoulder.
Oh no!
And had to have doctors from the crowd come in and try to like put it back in place.
Oh no!
On like in the middle of the show, it took like an hour.
Oh no!
This sounds
And he
like a
finished
work,
with, like
man.
a separated shoulder. That's what it sort of seems that way because
Yeah.
I've seen enough of his show.
I don't think so, man. I think he's a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
Really fucking smart dude and really nice guy too. And he is obsessed with like, first of all, the sleight of hand shit. It's insane, right, Jamie?
Oh yeah, no, for
Like,
sure.
tell me, like when you were watching it, tell me you weren't like absolutely blown away.
There's extra stuff going on that you can't even. You'd have to break it down for about an hour or two with someone.
You'd have
that's
to
really
like
smart.
watch him on high speed video and then slow it down to like a couple frames a second.
Here's the jumping accident.
I don't want to watch this.
But you can barely tell what happens.
Oh, dude, ow, I can tell what happens. That's Fear Factor, bro. That's just ridiculous.
I'm glad he wore a lav mic for that.
Well, they edited together this video, I guess, but
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
he was in pain there.
So he's a skilled magician, and he's also like willing to get hurt, and he also is willing to like stand on ice for 3 days. Like, what the fuck did he
Also,
do?
that's not magic, though.
No,
that's
well,
just
neither was the
jumping.
standing on ice thing.
Yeah.
He did a lot of those weird things.
There's a magic to that, though. That's like mind over matter. It's like an ancient kind of magic from a time before language.
If it was real mind over matter, you could do it forever. It's not mind over matter. It's just will. You just have to be able to tolerate extreme cold.
Yeah.
And just deal with it. And you do breathing exercises to force your body heat to stay
Right.
warmer.
But then there's also like the contact of your skin versus the cold that'll eventually.
You get a thermal layer. One of the things that happens when you put ice on something is it develops a thermal layer. Your skin gets really red underneath it. If you ever look at your arm when you pull the ice off,
Yeah.
like it's all red. You know, when you get out of an ice bath, your skin's super red.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. You
Dude,
develop a thermal layer.
I look like a newborn baby after an ice bath. I'm so pink.
Well, I think the same thing is probably applies to that. I think after a while, the parts that are touching the ice, it doesn't bother you as much anymore. Like whether it's the bottom of your feet, you could get frostbite.
Exactly.
Did he have anything under his feet?
When he did the ice, he was clothed.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Probably have to be so your body doesn't touch the ice.
Just encased.
Yeah. So basically,
He went full Encino Man.
if you have like I don't know what he was wearing, right? But you can wear some stuff that's remarkably warm, even if it gets wet, like merino wool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can wear like a merino wool layer. He could have like a thick layer. Like, what is he wearing when he was in the ice?
He's shirtless right there.
Yeah, he started taking
Does he go out to take a leak?
3 days.
No, that's the only way he warms
was
up.
Buried alive. Block of ice for 2 days.
So he's in a block of ice, shirtless for 2 days.
Seems like he took it off because he has.
So he's like, man, it's hot as fuck in here.
Yeah. and
We
this
sure
was
that's
also-
not Drake?
He's a handsome fellow, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Look at his body. Too.
Legendary pussy getter, this guy.
Look at David Blaine's body.
Oh, yeah.
Quick look on that. Like, Jesus, you sexy bitch.
Yep.
Super, like I said, super nice guy too. Like,
That's how I see
genuinely nice.
myself in my head. that's how I think I look up top.
By the way, he was doing magic tricks for everybody.
Yeah.
He did them for my daughter came over. He did it for her. He was doing it for security guys. He was doing it
Awesome.
for everybody. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's really dope. And no one figured out what the fuck he's doing.
No, but like
So I
Jamie
don't
said,
think-
you can't look into it.
Did he
or
let you
it
film him?
Ruins it.
I felt bad. He didn't say anything. I don't think he
you
knew.
bitched
though.
out. He bitched out.
I
That's what he
felt
just
bad.
said. I just heard I bitched out.
If
Is
I
that what
got
you
the
heard?
video
Yes,
of
sir.
him fucking
Yes.
from right behind, which like he didn't approve, that would be.
That's true.
That's
From
fucked up.
behind is bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't. But if you can get him from the front and see the hands
Yeah,
moving.
he was showing someone else the thing, and I walked up behind him with my camera out, and I was like, this feels.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it
couldn't
feels
he make
dirty.
the footage disappear?
You can make Jamie disappear.
Yeah, he
Send
could with
Jamie
that
to
body.
Epstein's Island.
Oh yeah, you'd love it down there, Jamie.
Yeah,
There's something I
You
found.
clean
I
your
saw.
sheets.
There's a video recently about this Epstein Island thing. I was trying to figure this out to show without showing what they showed. I was trying to prove it.
Bro.
If you go back on Google Maps, this spot right here, which used to be a tennis court, let me put it on the screen. It looks like there were
Dungeons.
digging of some kind of multiple small holes.
Little graves, tiny
Yeah,
graves.
let me show you the
What?
Let me show you the thing, the picture.
Wait a minute. First of all, why would you do that when you have the ocean right there? That doesn't make any sense.
Also, one of those creeps doesn't want to eat the kid after he fucks
But
it.
if you drop a dead body in the ocean, I would think that would be a way better way of disposing a dead body.
Yeah, for sure. And then you have chum.
Yeah, but
You
no
have
one, yeah,
sushi.
no one's gonna notice it.
No. God.
Oh, it's a
This is
tennis
video.
court.
Hold on.
Like how there's directions.
No, it's over time. See, that's how it used to
Okay,
look,
right?
and that's how it kind of looks now.
Okay,
Whoa.
Like they put up this weird wall.
right.
It's like a Mayan ball
covered up.
court.
Okay.
Trying to find the picture I saw.
Is this some 4chan shit?
A little bit, 100%. That's why I was trying to find
A little
real
bit.
proof.
A little bit. 100%. Jamie just went full QAnon.
That's where all the good stuff comes from.
Where we go one, we go all. He went all in,
You're through the looking glass, Jamie.
bro.
There's still. I feel like there's still stuff up with this that we're never
I saw
gonna
a
find
dude
out.
recently with a jacket on, like a bomber jacket that said, "Where we go one, we go all."
No, dude.
Yes,
You gotta
he
give
did.
up, man.
He went all in.
Yeah, you guys lost.
I met some lady. In Aspen, and she was with her daughters. She was like in her probably early 60s, and she comes up. She goes, "I love you. I am." I'm like, "Oh, thank you. That's so nice to you." She goes, "And Donald Trump's our real president." I'm like, "He's definitely not." And her daughters rather, were crying. They were laughing so hard. They're like, "Our mom's crazy." I'm like, "Your mom's crazy." So we called her QAnon mom all weekend. Keep an eye out for QAnon mom around the town.
It's crazy. That was
Nice lady. Very nice lady.
Sounds great.
Sweetheart of a lady.
Yeah, that was the thought she had to communicate to you.
She just wanted to let me know I'm a patriot as well. Like, oh no, what if I gotta like look at some of them TikTok clips.
Yeah, dude.
People getting the wrong impression of me. I fucking was a Bernie Sanders supporter.
I know.
These people are so silly.
Yeah, people love to fucking try and make people into what they aren't.
Oh
you
my
know?
God, they try to force them into a narrative. Well, it's
Yeah.
for me. It's just because, first of all, it looks like I should be. I'm a meathead.
Yeah.
You know, I'm covered in tattoos, and I do cage fighting commentary.
Right, yeah.
And I'm a dirty comedian.
There's no way you're
Yeah.
progressive.
And I have offensive comedy. Yeah. But so you get just lumped in.
Yeah, I know.
But
man.
it's fun to be lumped in. It's fun because one thing that happens is people like severely underestimate your ability to like have a conversation with them about
Right.
things if they're cocky and shitty.
Yeah.
You know, like some people just say things they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just like
yeah.
repeating a narrative, and you say, actually, that's not true.
Right.
And here's why it's not true.
Yeah.
And then you see this like look of panic when they realize that they're going on assumptions.
So they went back on the land here, and this was in 2006. That's what it looked like.
What the fuck,
Which is when obviously they were there, and that stuff was going on still.
bro?
And those aren't just like
What if
where
those
baby
are-
turtle eggs were laid.
Or
Doesn't
no,
appear
no,
that way.
it seems like it's pretty high up. I think that's where the tapes are, buddy. That's what I wouldn't say bodies. I would say if you're gonna bury bodies, you'd bury them in the ocean,
Or you burn them.
You take them out to the you could do that. You could burn them and take them out to the ocean. Like, why would you, when you have the best place to get rid of a body ever,
Right.
why would you put the shittiest place to get rid of a body?
Sand.
Shallow grave. Shallow grave in a very obvious place where people could photograph it with satellites when you're already some sort of intelligence operation. Like, get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
when you
You're
have
not gonna do
Mossad
that.
behind you, you're gonna dig
Yeah.
paupers' graves.
Yeah, unless you're so cocky, like, fucking put them anywhere. Who gives a fuck?
Who cares?
This
We're
was one of the
untouchable.
last things I remember
Or-
hearing when he died was that he had a big giant cement truck shipped out to the island. And
3
everyone's
weeks
like,
before
what?
damning expose was released, paying machine up front so it would arrive quicker. As experts say, he could have literally covered up evidence. Oh, Jesus.
That is bad branding. Pedophile Island. They should have fought for something different.
You know that island's still for sale.
Yeah. You
we,
thinking
we
about
had,
it?
We had discussions
Oh, yeah?
about purchasing it for a podcast island. About doing the podcast in that big
Dude.
mosque. What is
Yes.
it? What does he have?
That temple.
Temple.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
Yeah, that temple.
Dude.
This is the thought.
You
like
have
the
to.
temple's beautiful on the outside. It's like the colors of the Israeli flag.
And it's soundproof in there already.
There's no way he's Mossad. It's not
No.
like he has a fucking building the color of the Israeli flag. That's like, I mean, that's like if you went to Kid Rock's house and it had a
The
giant
rebel
billiard
flag.
hall that's covered in an American flag from the roof, right? That like makes sense. This guy literally, this is how much he supports Israel. He turned his fucking temple into an Israeli flag.
It's on the nose.
It's so on the nose.
If you put that in a script, they'd be like,
Yeah,
we
so
can't.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Let's we would have to hire a couple Jews for representation because I mean we want to make sure that this is appropriate.
Just have Ari live there.
Yes, Ari will run the island.
Uh-huh.
Ari needs a podcast studio and he likes to be away from people, so maybe
Yeah.
that's actually a good spot for
You're
him.
doing him a favor.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
And it's a write-off.
But if you bought Pedophile Island, you would have to destroy all the buildings because I'm sure they're all bugged to hell
for
with
sure.
some high-tech shit that you're never going to be able to spot.
There's a camera in every toilet in there.
Which would be terrible for comedians. They talk so much shit.
know,
They
dude.
try to be silly.
Yeah.
And if you got audio of that. But then again,
Look,
you
it's
also,
one thing if you're on the pedophile island, but if you riff and use the N-word, it's all over for you.
And here's the other thing. With AI today, how would you even know what's real? How the fuck would you even... Is this it?
These
Is
guys
this...
snuck up there. I don't know when.
Oh, my
this was,
God.
but it's
Look at that
very
place.
recently.
Yes.
Bro, that place is dope. That looks almost Alex Gray style. Look how beautiful it is.
It is.
It's really just a facade, but we don't know what's underneath it.
Because
or
that door's
anything.
not real,
Yeah,
right?
the door's not real. It's painted.
J.E. The door's
It
painted.
could be JR.
There's a window that
Yes,
you can see here.
J.R.E.
Yeah.
J.R.E.
So you can see there's a window there.
Okay, so inside...
What a shitty window.
Yeah, and so inside is that area where we'll set up the tables.
Yeah.
Nice window.
And we're going to need Elon's help to get like solid satellite Wi-Fi out
Yeah.
there.
Nice view.
You could just project Tim Dillon's face on the side of it.
See, that's kind of small for a studio. We might have to expand.
Yeah.
Make some more windows.
It was built for kids.
This is
They didn't have adults. They didn't have adults in mind when they built that thing.
no.
If you think that's small, you should see the cages.
Imagine if you go in there, it's a bouncy house.
Yeah, it's a ball
Like,
pit.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah. I have to take my shoes off still.
Kids, you guys want to go to the ultimate bouncy house? I'm talking on an island, on a private island, just a bouncy house.
You want to go where Mr. Chuck E. Cheese lives?
You know, Alex Jones told me about that place a long time ago. It was
Yeah.
one of the things that Alex tells you stuff, and he'll say like all these things that make sense, and then he'll tell you one where you go, "Wait a minute." This was one of the wait a minutes.
Yeah.
Well, there's an island. They take them. They have underage girls, and they compromise them sexually. It's like what?
It's like he's here.
These guys hung out there apparently.
These guys hung out on the island.
I mean, this is
It's like,
posted 2 years ago. Same video.
oh wow.
They're
They just kept going back.
snooping around. Yeah.
What
Well, I bet there's no one there. Like, who the fuck wants to be the guy guarding Pedophile
Yeah,
Island?
who's the groundskeeper?
Probably nobody wants to go there. I bet you can go there. How come taggers haven't showed up yet? You guys are really just depressing me. Your lack of ambition.
Let's get some
So
graffiti heads.
easy to just tag downtown LA.
Right,
Get
yeah.
out to Pedophile Island and leave your fucking mark.
You think a moving subway
Yeah.
car's cool? Get out there, tag up the temple.
Imagine
Yeah.
if we put that out there in the world.
We just
and then
did.
cut to taggers and fucking speedboats with like giant sacks of spray paint are headed towards Pedophile
It
Island.
just says Bert Kreischer is fat.
Yeah. I know a guy who's a tagger in LA. He's an interesting guy, and he's really good at it. He makes cool shit. Like
Yeah.
it's a cool. It's an art form. It's illegal. You shouldn't do it. You're doing it to people's houses and shit and property. And,
I don't know.
Well, most of them don't do it to houses and
No.
property. They do it to like abandoned buildings, which is fine, and they
Yeah.
do it to like structures under the LA River, which like who the fuck is going down there?
Yeah, a lot of bridge pillars and shit. Yeah.
The LA River's a weird thing, man. Because
It's barely a river.
you know what it really is? It's an excuse to pollute the ocean.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
How so?
Because it runs, it's covered in cement. It's just a big cement thing. And it runs straight into the ocean. So anytime it rains, all the shit from all the streets gets in that water. All the shit. And then that shit goes out into the ocean. There was a guy that I used to take yoga with. He was a yoga instructor from Australia. In Australia, he surfed all the time. And so when he came to America, that's one of the reasons why he wanted to teach out here on the coast or out there on the coast is that he could surf all the time. And no one told him to not surf after the rain.
Oh, shit.
Because apparently when you surf after like heavy rain, like it's been raining like now, all the pollution from all the oil and all the cars and all the fucking bottles and cans and everything.
Use needles.
It all just goes out that big giant cement trough into the ocean.
Just a bunch of spec scripts
See if you
in
can
there.
find what it looks like, what the LA River looks like.
This
Like,
is where they like the big concrete enclosure where they have car races and all the Fast and the Furious movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of times it's dry, and sometimes people fish in it. There's videos of guys
God.
fishing in it and catching the fish and eating them. And
No, what's in there?
Yes.
Carp, gar.
I don't know what's in there.
Oh,
Probably
dude.
carp. Probably carp, and maybe some other like bluegills or something like that. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's in there. But this guy catches them and cooks them and eats them, and it's really disturbing because like I know you're doing this for the gram, buddy.
Yeah.
But you might die from this. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck knows what's in that water?
Not me.
So this is the LA River.
Oh,
it's really
God,
bad, man.
dude.
Look at this. They're just pulling giant chunks of shit. There's so much trash. And so the LA River, when it runs into the ocean, this fucking dude was out there surfing. And he said,
fuck.
dude, he goes, man, I got really, really sick.
Yeah.
Like
No
he goes,
shit.
I just was really bedridden. I felt terrible. And then people told him, yeah, man, you can't. He's like, oh, great. It's after the rain. Perfect. No one's out here. Great waves. You know, kind of stormy. No, buddy, you got to stay the fuck out of there.
Oh my God, dude.
It's really weird, man. Crews rescue a man from the rain-swollen LA River. Oh, the guy got trapped.
He was down there fishing.
I wonder what happened. He probably fell in, man.
Probably drunk. Every time I've fallen in a river, I've been drunk.
This is wild. So is that the rescue guy? Where's the dude? Oh, Jesus. So they got to swing him over? That is crazy. Imagine rescuing this dipshit going, hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to get me killed.
I was waiting for my Uber.
Look at this. You got, he hit the wall. Hang on, bitch. That guy's not even holding on to that guy. Do they have him on a harness? Oh, they do. Okay, they have him on a harness. Look, he's got him in full guard. He's got his back mount. The guy better watch his neck. Wow. So the LA River is kind of fucked. It's kind of not really a river.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a river, I guess. I don't know what it was before they cemented it up, but that's what it looks like. Look at that. That's a car floating down the LA River. And that goes straight into the ocean. So all that runoff from all those streets and all those cities and all that pollution, I don't think there's a filter that stops it when it gets to the ocean.
There's not a filter big enough.
Yeah, there's not a filter big enough.
Ugh.
It's kind of crazy.
It's not kind of crazy.
There's a great song, LA River by Honey Honey.
Okay.
There's a friends of mine from
Yeah?
LA. Yeah. It's a great song, but it's about how fucked up one of the lines is, thought I saw a body by the weeds.
That's where River Phoenix died.
He died in front of the
Viper Room.
Viper Room, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like with water and without water. Show it again without water. So when you go down there without water, people are like hanging out down there.
You can
and-
skateboard, ride your bike.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like fucking sketchy people hanging out. And if you're deciding like, what do you want to do today, man? Let's go down the fucking LA River and start some shit. I mean, you're dealing with the dregs of society.
Let's
There's
go beat up
not
some
an
water
iPhone
hobos.
to be found.
No, dude. It's a lot of flip phones.
A lot of Androids. A lot of, like,
Those old car phones. They aren't
a lot
plugged
of
in.
burner 7-Eleven phones.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people just living out of their shopping cart. A lot of like crazy people, homeless people.
Have you
wild
seen the
people.
shopping carts that are turned into grills?
No, but that's a good move.
That's a really good move.
Solid move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shopping carts, you could steal them.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And if you just, it's the right metal. Yeah. Makes sense.
You just turn it on its side, catch a fish,
The
put it
fucked
on there.
up place is San Francisco because they pay them. They pay them to be homeless. They give them money every month. And guys move there to be homeless.
Yeah, it's a good come up for the outside people.
Did you see about that dude, the Cash App guy who got stabbed there?
Yeah, of course.
There's a video apparently of him like trying to get help,
Oh, no.
collapsing, getting back up, and trying to
Begging
get
for help?
Trying to get help. I don't know exactly what it was. I didn't want to watch it. I don't want to watch a guy die.
No, it's not my thing. Remember Faces of Death?
I do. You know, I was just talking to the Protect Our Parks guys today. We
Yeah.
were talking about this because I'd watched one too many accident videos for the day. I was like, how many accidents are you guys seeing?
Yeah.
Because on Instagram in particular, I see so many car accidents.
Oh, I hate it.
So many people getting hit when they're on a motorcycle. So many people on motorcycles hitting cars and going flying into the air. Like, I'm seeing so much of that, so much more than I ever saw before.
You got to get out of that algorithm, man.
Oh, it's too late for that.
Is it?
Yeah, my algorithm's chaos.
Mine's clean.
What is yours?
Mine's pretty good, man.
What do you got in there?
It's large, saggy breasts and then cooking videos.
I have a lot of cooking videos.
Yeah.
Man, but I also have a lot of car accidents.
Yeah, I don't have any car accidents.
I have a lot of people getting shot. There's a lot of people getting attacked by animals. There's a lot of animals attacking other animals.
What's going on over there, Joe?
Yeah.
That's what's catching your eye?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, mine's all like tours of the Amsterdam River and shit.
Today I spent quite a bit of time watching an eagle paralyze a hyena.
Wow.
He had landed on the hyena's back, and he's pulling the hyena's spine apart.
No,
and,
I like that.
And the hyena has his back legs aren't working, so he's trying to drag himself away from this eagle.
Like
with
Lieutenant Dan.
He's bouncing around. He's actually incredibly strong. He can actually like suspend his back legs and move with his front arms because hyenas are that strong. But this eagle's eating his back. It's wild to watch.
I
It's
couldn't
like,
escape an
Jesus
eagle.
Christ, nature's so brutal.
Yeah.
You ever see the Mongolians when they have eagles
course.
on their arms and they chase them after wolves?
Yeah.
They let them go to kill wolves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have those hoods for the eagles and the hawks. That's a beautiful life. Living on the Mongolian steppe, just eating horse milk all the time, hunting with a bird.
Back in the day.
I mean, currently.
I don't think those guys do it all the time.
I think they have
What's that right
competitions
there?
out there.
There's another video I saw. I was trying to find, but this popped up too. There's people that do like drive-by falconing.
What the fuck?
Oh my God! So you throw him and he just jacks a bird.
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
the
God.
fuck?
Isn't that crazy? Because they're not that much bigger than the birds they're jacking. You know, it's like if defensive linemen were
Yeah.
running around there jacking and eating people. You know what I'm saying?
If Warren Sapp got
Yes,
loose,
yes.
Yeah. They just shove Warren Sapp out of a window.
Bro.
Ndamukong Suh for sure is eating someone.
Derek Wolf was in here the other day.
Oh yeah, former Bronco.
Former Viking.
Former
The
Bronco.
Fucking go back in the little lineage. There's
Yeah.
not a doubt in my mind that somewhere in his ancestry there was a bunch of people on a fucking boat
Sure, yeah.
waiting to cut people's heads off. 100%.
He's a berserker.
100%. Now imagine if guys like him were like that falcon, just running around jacking smaller things. Like how could not that much different. A guy like him eating a guy like me is not that much different than a falcon taking out a crow.
No, I
Not
think
that much different.
not that different.
Not
I
that
think he
different
would
at
eat
all.
me first.
He'd eat whoever the fuck he wants.
Whoever he
to eat.
wants at any
What are
time.
you gonna do? Stop him from eating you?
He'd be lucky if he ate you.
Yeah.
That'd be better than what he also could do to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have a joke about Brock Lesnar that I'm not worried Brock would rape me. I'm worried he would use me as a condom to rape something way bigger. Like, Brock, why are we going to the zoo? Shut the fuck up!
He's just rolling up to the panda cage with you in a
Yeah.
bag. Yeah.
He shoots the locks off. There's a video of Brock Lesnar shooting prairie dogs with a 50 caliber rifle.
What? How much prairie dog existed after that?
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
He's
And I was like, why would someone do
liquefying
that? But then someone informed me of what prairie dogs do. A lot of horses, they fall into their holes and snap their legs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a problem.
Nature sucks, man.
Nature sucks fat dicks.
It's no good.
It's so mean.
The more I find out about it, the more I want to know less.
Bro, it's so mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolphins just fucking pufferfish and passing them around, getting high off of them.
Well, what I watched today is probably the most ruthless shit. I was talking to a friend of mine today, the lady who gives me the IVs. I get an IV twice a week, like a vitamin IV,
Yeah.
NAD IV. And so we were watching, we were talking about nature. And did you ever see the hornets killing the bees, killing the honeybees?
Yeah. Don't
It's
they vibrate around them?
No, that's how the honeybees kill the hornets. But
Okay.
most of the time, they don't do that.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, if the hornets can get into the hive, if there's a crack where they can get into the hive, it's pretty much over. They get in there and they kill everything, and then they eat the babies. So we were watching this today. I was like, what kind of fucking bizarre life form are insects?
Yeah.
What kind of ruthless shit that's going on right outside of our eyes? See, they got into this crack, and they killed the fuck out of everyone. They killed 30 honeybees or 30 wasps, killed 30,000 honeybees. So they went in there and they just cut all the heads off of 30,000 honeybees, and then they got to the main hive and they ate all their babies, and that's what they were there for. They were there to eat the babies.
That was the job at
Yeah,
hand.
so you watch them do it. I didn't know how much they could swallow. Because I always felt like bees have a weird, like wasps even have a weird mouth, right?
Yeah.
They have like this, like these big pinchers, but I'm like, they don't have like a big opening. But watch what they do when they get inside. When they get inside and they start pulling the larvae out of the honeycombs, dude, they just swallow those fucking things. They just pull them out like this here. Oh, they pull them out and they just start slurping them. Like, watch how easy he eats this whole thing. Like, I never would have thought they could swallow that much. Look how quick it sucks down.
Just crushing a booger.
Just smashing it into little pieces and engulfing it. Look at this.
One of those larvae is like the size of its carapace.
Yeah. Yeah, it's eating the whole thing pretty fucking quickly. And that is how they get nutrients for their babies.
Right.
So they go back and it helps their hive. The whole thing is beyond
And that's just
fucked.
happening all the time.
All
And
the time.
What other atrocities are going on out there?
Well, I think those wasps might be invasive. I think there's a part of that that's going on where there's invasive wasps that are killing honeybees. Let me see if that's true. Because I know that's one of the things that they were really worried about when those murder hornets showed up.
Yeah.
Remember the murder hornets?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
What
fun
great-
time.
What a great name.
Yeah,
Murder
it's
hornets.
a great band.
Yeah. Would be a good band.
Yeah.
Especially they're fucking rocking. Really
Yeah.
rock. Murder
Just
hornets.
a thrash
I'd
band?
wear their t-shirt.
Oh yeah, I'd wear a bandana that had their shit on it. That's how you know you're into the band.
Yeah,
when you show up like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Right.
Yeah.
I think some of them are invasive, but obviously they know what the fuck they're doing. They go in there and they murder everybody.
I mean, that's the definition of invasive: is eating someone's young after you crush them.
and eating just chopping the heads off 30,000 of them. Invasive murder hornets are officially back in the U.S. It
Finally.
entered the slaughter phase.
What is this? The Purge?
Oh my god! So those are the ones, man. Did you know that hornets pollinate too?
They have to do something.
They all
I
pollinate.
figure they serve some purpose out there.
They just don't make honey. I don't think.
I know my grandmother lived
I
in
take
fear of
murder
them.
honey all day. I
Dude.
want to get some murder hornet honey.
What about that honey they
The
have
mad
in like,
honey?
Yeah.
I have some. You want some?
Right now?
Yeah, we could do it.
What's it gonna do to us?
You're gonna freak out a little bit.
We have those shows this evening.
What are you worried about? I know the guy who owns the club. We're fine.
Yeah.
See
Where's-
if you got,
where's
you
the
got any
murder honey?
honey? I don't know where. Mad honey? It's up there somewhere. Is it? Yeah.
Where did you get your hands on murder honey?
Mad honey. It's mad honey. It's from
Okay.
Nepal.
Yeah.
It's those guys that
I've
this
seen those
psychedelic
videos.
honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Psychedelic's a strong word for what I experienced.
What'd you experience?
I didn't take much, so I just experienced like a light euphoria. It was kind of interesting. But
Ooh.
apparently, if you go too much, it's really rough.
I love Euphoria. Great show,
Yeah.
great feeling.
I haven't watched it,
Oh, you
but I
should.
do enjoy the feeling.
You
in-
should
in
watch some
small
snippets
doses.
of it. I'll send you some clips.
Isn't it like a bunch of kids banging each other?
Yeah, but they're of age legally.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. It's not just fucking deleted scenes from Epstein's
Is
discs.
that it? Let me see. Yeah, that's it.
What the
That's
fuck?
shit.
Yeah, it's
Look at
made
it.
from,
Seems
like,
like it's broken
Datura.
up. So do you think we shake it? Datura, scary apparently.
Yes.
I never fucked with that. Have you fucked with that?
No, dude.
Datura is
It
supposed
melts people's brains.
Datura's Terrence McKenna swore off of it
Yeah.
when he was talking to a guy in an open air market.
Yeah.
And the guy thought that they were back at his house
Oh, fuck.
in the living room.
Yeah.
And he realized somewhere along the line of the conversation the guy didn't know where he was.
Oh,
Like right now in the moment in an open air market.
Uh-huh.
He thought that he was in his apartment.
That sounds like a fun thing to do here on the podcast.
Come on, buddy.
Hey, man.
You're here. to
Let's
party.
freak it out.
You're
yeah.
in Texas.
I know. They love mad honey here.
He got stopped at the TSA.
Just a jar of that shit?
No, because they were like making sure he wasn't traveling with this stuff
Oh,
after he did
that's-
the podcast.
That's good. Do we know the dosage on this, Jamie?
This is
or-
totally legal, by the way.
Good. That was my biggest fear, was breaking the law.
Is Mad Honey legal? Just take a little teaspoon. Just get in there.
I will take a little tea. You go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you scared?
Yes.
That's more than I took the last time.
Oh, good. All right.
Tastes like honey.
It is honey. Yeah, it definitely tastes delicious. It tastes like.
It smells
Don't take too
bizarre.
much.
I
don't
won't.
want you to die.
Thank you. That's
Just,
big of you.
just like really get the spoon wet and then
Yeah.
suck the spoon,
All right. I'm like the Dalai Lama.
and then think about all the diseases you could be getting from me.
I don't fear those.
We
I
saw
think you've
it
got
in
a
the
good
thing.
ecosystem.
Syphilis and all that stuff.
No, I'm not worried.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You like it, right? Don't go in again. Don't go for seconds.
I'm not going for
Don't
seconds.
fucking do it, Sam.
No.
Jesus.
Well,
All right. Let's see. Is this legal?
What do you mean?
Let's find out. It's just honey.
Yeah.
This is a gag, ladies and gentlemen.
We're faking. It
It
tastes
just says
bizarre.
honey.
It's just honey, bitches.
Now my
all it
tongue is
says.
on fire.
Well, wait until it gets to your brain.
I can't wait. This will be good.
Do.
Smoke on the water over here.
I'm
I'm gonna go full Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mad honey.
it tasted bizarre.
The label.
It's legal to purchase in the United States, according to this.
There we go. It's legal. Fully legal.
It helps in weight management.
By the way, when that guy came in here and gave it to me and said that he brought it in, that was a lie. He lied. He got it from someone who legally purchased it here in America, and he brought it over to me.
Oh.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, that's
Get
for
it?
sure what happened.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes.
No way was this
He's a good
imported.
dude.
He
There's
is.
no way he would do that.
No.
The rules. Why the fuck would he do that?
The rules are there because they're good.
The rules are only there always
Yeah.
because they're good.
They're always valid.
And Jesus loves you. And shave your beard if you're single. And
That's right, yeah.
What other rules do we have?
If you're not married, you should wear something to cover your head. Yep.
Trans women are real women. And what else?
That honey got a hold of you quick, Joe.
What do you think of this Dillon Mulvaney thing? It's fascinating.
I can't drink Bud Light anymore.
I'm drinking Bud Light more now.
No, I do because it gets me so hard when I think about what they did. I can barely get it in my mouth without coming. Dude, transgender porn is some wild stuff.
Yeah, Derek Poston's into that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's his shit. He's a connoisseur. Yeah, a straight man is a connoisseur of trans porn. He loves it.
I met Derek last night.
He's hilarious.
I did his open mic. That was fun.
He's a fun dude.
He's very
He's
fun.
a fun dude.
Yeah.
Happy to have him out here. It's
Yeah,
very
dude.
exciting. We got a great crop of young up and coming talent out
I
here.
know.
It's really exciting.
I keep asking your security over there if I can handle their guns. And they don't think it's very funny. I think it's a good bit, but no. Yeah, dude, that club is quite the testament. It's cool to see someone like realize their dreams fully because that place
Thank you.
rules, dude.
I didn't even have that dream. I
Well-
didn't have a dream of. I just knew when I moved here that I had to replace the sense of community that we had in L.A.
Yeah.
if we're going to have like a real scene out here. Because like I'm living here. I love it here. I'm not moving. So this is where I'm at. So this is where I'm at. What do I need? There was some places that we were working out, like the Vulcan primarily, which is awesome. And shout out to Nick,
Did a show
who
there.
owns it. He's the shit.
Yep.
That's a great place. Still a great place. I still do sets there. I'll still hop back and forth, especially once everything gets like fully running at the mothership. But I realized like we need it set up the right way for comedy. Like there's part of like there's the hang, and then there's also like the ease of getting onto the stage, and there's like the making it is optimum for the audience, and then optimum for the performers, and then making it so that young up and coming people have an easy way to get on stage.
Everything is thought out perfectly, man. And also the fact that you have that open mic and all the door staff there are comedians, which is great. And they're all very nice and eager.
And they're all funny. They
I was talking to them
auditioned.
last night. They were fucking funny.
They all auditioned.
Yeah.
So they got to see their act. And so it's like you're in a part of like an apprenticeship program. You're going to be able to go on stage during the open mics, which are 2 nights a week. There's Kill Tony. There's times where the door guys can go up on showcase shows. Those will run for hours and hours. And, you know, fucking 10, 15 talented people that you get a chance to see someone in the early days. It's like seeing Louis C.K. in Boston in 1988.
Yeah.
And they go, dude, I saw that guy when he was like a year into comedy. And then bam.
Yeah, you got that guy Keith, you got Lucas.
There's a lot of good guys
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
A lot of good women there. There's a couple non-binaries.
Yeah.
We got at least one.
Checking all the boxes.
It's a diverse group. We gave him his own Bud Light after the first week. We put his face on a can.
Do you have any beer in here?
Yeah, you want a beer?
I'd take a light beer.
Okay, let's get some Bud Lights. Let's do this
Yeah.
in support of Bud Light in their time
Let's
of
be
stress.
allies by getting a little day
Let's be-
drunk.
we're going to be allies.
Yeah.
You know, because Kid Rock and Travis Tritt have put the fucking hammer down.
I know. They were really fucking fighting the good fight, man.
Here's my take.
Okay.
Like what you're doing, what they're doing is just spreading the brand to an extra group of people.
Yeah.
Why, if something is good, do you give a fuck who's got it? Like, will we do this with cheesecake? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there was like a bomb ass cheesecake and all of a sudden, you know, some radical group like Antifa really got into the cheesecake, we'd be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And if the Cheesecake Factory sent Antifa a cheesecake, you
Yeah.
know, for 10 more years of chaos, you know, like, a celebratory.
Yeah. If only ISIS had Bear Claw donuts,
Yeah.
I'm still eating those fucking
But on the other hand,
donuts.
I loved Kid Rock's video because I love that. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
I love that kind of thinking.
There's
Not
nothing
even
wrong
that
with
I
this.
agree with it. I like wild people.
Yeah.
I like a
raising
dude-
hell, man.
I like a dude who takes a machine gun to a stack of Bud Lights and is like, fuck Anheuser-Busch.
This'll show up.
But I mean, where's he going to go now? You going to go to Coors? 'Cause
Miller
doesn't-
Lite.
Don't they all support like LBGTQ plus AI, whatever
Yeah.
the hell else they're attaching to it issues? They all
Yeah.
do.
I mean, I'm from Colorado, and Coors has had those rainbow cans forever.
Fucking Shane Gillis is heartbroken.
I
This
was
is
with
his
him.
favorite beer.
I
And
was
he
opening
didn't-
for him last weekend.
This is what sucks. He drinks Bud Light every time he does Protect Our Parks. Those things have fucking millions of views.
I know.
Where's his can of beer?
He did
Bud
not.
Light?
He was not. He said the exact same thing.
He's problematic.
Oh yeah, he's an issue, man.
He's an issue being one of the funniest fucking human beings alive
How
on planet
dare he?
Earth.
And also generous and
And
community
a
minded.
great guy.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they won't give him a Bud Light.
They should give him some lips.
If they were smart, they would send Shane a Bud Light with his face on it too.
Yeah.
Say we love everybody.
Well, the can's not big enough to fit his face.
That's true.
He has a big round head.
You could put like half of his face, like a, like an artsy thing.
Right, yeah. Then you
only
have to put
see
them all
half his
together.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
Did you get a left side of the face or the right side?
Bud Light sponsors the moon?
So if you're two fisting,
Yeah.
you know,
No, man, I think that it's crazy when people get upset about that stuff because the people who get upset about that stuff value liberty and freedom so much, and they want to live their lives undeterred by anyone's rules.
but they think that the company that they like is giving into the woke agenda. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
There's no woke agenda.
Well, they think there is in like movies and television and media and commercials. And they're worried about it in universities. They're worried about it in schools and high schools and grammar schools. They're worried about it because there is some evidence that some people do try to indoctrinate children into views that maybe don't align with the parents' views. Right? Who's right and who's wrong, that's up to interpretation. But the question is, like, is it appropriate for someone to be giving their politics or their cultural values that may be opposite of the cultural values of the parents? Is it appropriate for this person who spends probably more time during the day with your kid than you do
Right.
to do that to your kids all day long?
What
So
about
then
religion, though? Because you're indoctrinating your kids before they have any say in that. You know?
Maybe your kids are atheists and they go to school. It's still,
Sure.
you're talking about public school.
Right.
Like everybody, like you're going to have kids that are all sorts of religions in those public schools and all sorts of non-religions. There's going to be a bunch of different flavors of atheism.
Well, I'm just
or
saying people who-
agnostics or people who just aren't religious at all. They don't. Those kids are going to school too.
Right.
And if they're getting indoctrinated and they don't want to be, that's the question. It's not saying that it happens all the time. There's just enough evidence of it where there's plenty of videos of people actually doing it. Like Project Veritas got a bunch of them, and there's, the libs of TikTok got a bunch of them. It's like it's really a thing with some people that teach school, but not most of them. Most of them are great people who are educators in what they're trying to do, and they what they get satisfaction out of if they're good is they try to educate kids, and they want them to have a good experience. So they look back and they remember Mrs. Wilson's class? She was
Yeah.
fucking awesome. Like this is one teacher that I had in high school. I wish I could remember her name, but everybody went to her because she would talk to you friendly, and she was a sweetheart. She was a sweet lady. She was just a really nice lady. And she was really good at her job, but like if you fucked up, and she was like, "You're supposed to have it in. Like, what happened? Like, you felt bad.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll fix it. I'll finish it. I'm sorry. Like, you felt bad.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
you wanted to do well in that
You let
lady's
her
class.
down.
Yeah, because she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so sweet. That's the best example. The worst example is some shitty dumb person who gets a job teaching because a lot of people don't want to teach,
Mm-hmm.
and then they find because it's very low paying and it doesn't get a lot of reward and praise from people.
Also,
and then
parents are a nightmare.
parents are a nightmare, and then this shitty person is in front of your kids with their really dumb ideas.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those people. There's a lot of those people, and they think what we're going to do is we're going to indoctrinate their children. We're
Yeah.
going to turn their children against them. And there are people like that out there in the world. Doesn't mean that's all of them. It's like there are bad cops out there in the world, but most cops are great. It's not like all cops are evil. It's like the job is really fucking hard, and most people do their best, but some people fucking suck at it. Like everything. Like plumbers. Like
Right.
everything. It's just that with cops, the consequences are so grave. And with kids, it's kind of a fucked up situation because if you're a parent and you're working all day and your kid's at school all day and they're getting indoctrinated into a set of ideas that don't align with your values or don't align with your sense of the world or what you believe reality to
What
be.
you want to teach in your home as
Yeah,
well.
what do you want to teach in your home? So
Yeah.
it's like it's very tricky. It's like what is school supposed to do? Generally, it's supposed to educate children, but it's not
I think
necessarily
it's supposed to indoctrinate
impo-
as well, though.
Ah.
I mean, it's supposed to put them in a situation where they understand like regimented schedules.
Well, that's what it was originally invented for. But if you ask someone what's the primary reason for education, it's you send these kids to school to teach them about life, teach them history, teach them how to do mathematics,
Yeah.
teach them language, teach them art. Fractions, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be preparing them for college or high school. And when you're doing this, but you're spending the entire class talking about different things that you think are wrong with the world or wrong with Donald Trump or wrong with trans people not being able to compete in the sport of their gender of choice. Like those kind of things are not what you're supposed to be teaching kids.
No.
These are opinion-based things. And these are things that maybe someone, if they were debating you in that moment, that was also an adult, might make you look really foolish.
They would bust your ass. Yeah, for sure.
Because the things you say are stupid. But these fucking
Yeah.
5-year-olds don't know they're stupid.
No, because kids are dumb as hell.
Because they don't know anything yet.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, their brains
That's
haven't
what
been
people
full.
are worried about.
Yeah. I do remember good teachers. Like the good teachers
Oh,
are the
yeah.
ones. I don't remember any bad teachers. I
This
had a
is
teacher
not-
named Mrs. Storch who got me a bunch of cool books.
This is not that good. It's just not.
It'll do for now.
It's the thing, right? It's like a cold thing you drink.
Yeah. It's like
you know
when
what I
you
used
don't
to
want
get
water.
shit? You know what I used to get shit for? Zevias.
Oh,
No.
Zevias. Those
No,
sodas.
it's not Zimas. That's
Oh,
right.
Zima.
I knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
Zevia I like. I drink that stuff all the time.
I was
You
allegedly
drink that? It's like a
conceived on
soda.
Zimas.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Have your kid on a delicious, fruity, sort of bubbly, soda-like
Yeah.
alcoholic beverage.
My mom and dad split a fucking 24-pack of Zima and made me in Glenwood Springs.
Wasn't too strong.
No.
You know,
Gave
had a
you
nice
a
flavor.
heartburn, though, dude.
Did it?
You can't have like 8 of them.
I've never had 8 Zimas.
I have.
You've had 8?
Yeah, because they brought them back. You know?
Zima's a thing with I'm not really trying to get drunk. You know, like if I'm trying to get drunk, I'm drinking whiskey.
If I'm drinking, I'm typically trying to get drunk.
Always?
Yeah.
Don't you just like to have a little buzz?
I'll have a little glass of wine here and there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Zima drinks returning to summer of 2018 for a limited time.
Yep.
They try to bring it back.
They brought them back.
Bring it back. Come on, Zima. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I like them
I
a
don't
lot.
get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Fucking White Claws made it, but
Yeah,
Zima's
that-
didn't.
Well,
that's
these are
what it
all
took
sugar,
over.
though.
But tell me how the fuck White Claws made it and Zima did it. Is it a timing thing? Is it like Betamax and the VHS tape? The superior product doesn't make it?
Well, Zima had like 20 years head start on White Claw.
Bro, I used to get so much shit for ordering Zima. They're like, what are you doing, bro?
Well, were you at the pool hall?
No, at the
Okay.
fucking Improv on Melrose.
It's
People
on
were
your
making
rider.
fun of me.
Yeah.
Comics were making fun of me for drinking Zima. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's delicious.
It looks like a
10 things you should know about
post-apocalyptic
Zima.
drink.
What do I need
There's
to know?
no-
Is it
no
bad
way
for you?
that's-
Yeah, what are the fun
necessary.
facts about Zima?
There's no fun facts.
The branding sucks.
This Zima's like blockbuster video. It's like no one thought it was gonna go away, but
Here we are in a post-Zima world.
it's over. It's weird because it was delicious. It didn't taste bad at all. It's not a bad product.
It was kind of viscous, though. I mean, it had that kind of milky look to it when it was in the bottle for too long.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
Like,
it was like Sprite.
It started clear, but then if you had it on the shelf for a while.
How long did you leave your Zima on a shelf?
I remember I think my dad had like a couple
Yeah,
Zimas
look,
in his
even those are
office.
a little milky.
Milk.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, but that's just a
skim milk.
CGI image.
Oh, you think that's
the
computer
same-
generated?
That's the same bottle over and over again. That's what it looks like. It looks like fucking soda. It's a bottle
Clear
of
malt.
delicious clear malt soda.
I'd be more surprised if you had Zima in here than that you have Mad Honey. That would blow my
I don't
mind
think
even
you
more.
can get it. You probably have to get it on eBay from your dad.
Yeah, for sure.
Your dad's got some cases.
My dad takes the
For
helicopter
sale.
in. Yeah.
Your dad's got some cases. But the thing is like about this Dillon Mulvaney thing. It's like it's just someone who wants a lot of attention, and you're giving that someone a lot of attention, and you're trying to reach another audience. Like I saw it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" My initial reaction is like, "This is silly."
It was
Are they
pretty
really doing this?
transparent.
But it's also your Bud Light fan, your typical Bud Light fan, is like NASCAR, fucking sports. Like that's most of the people that are drinking Bud Light. Guys like Shane. Most people, you saw the Bud Light demographics of who's drinking Bud Light.
It's bigots.
I saw this fucking
guys like Shane.
Shane. He's joking, Shane.
Yeah,
I saw
Shane's my boy.
What the fuck was I gonna say? Jesus Christ, you threw me off.
Yeah, it wasn't the honey.
No,
the honey's
no.
in there though.
No,
there's
not yet.
there's a little current popping
feel it?
around in there. It might be the cigar.
Probably cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have that lighter again?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Fuck, I lost it.
You were talking about
this.
oh yeah, just how the target demographic of Bud Light.
But it's like a lot of companies are using this person. There's more than one company. There's like a bunch of them, like Nike and a bunch of other stuff.
Also, she's pretty. I get it. No, I mean, I see nothing wrong.
Good luck.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it's
There's
one of those things. It's like it's funny what people get like super outraged about. You know, like we're in the middle of, Tulsi Gabbard posted up some stuff the other day about the Restrict Act, and you flip the top. Here, I showed you before. Pull the top back. There you go.
Thank you.
Well, I did it before. That's like one of those teach a man to fish things.
Yeah.
It's not going to be lit. You
No, I
have to-
know.
Yeah.
I gotta get rid of that
But
ash.
like no one's freaking out about that, but they're freaking out about Bud Light. Like how is that the big deal? I think it's goofy because I think that person's goofy. But if you want to hire a goofy person, like who gives a shit? It's kind of hilarious when someone says 365 days of womanhood.
It was also on April Fool's Day.
That's true too. But it
That's
also
fucked.
was just a can with that person's face on it.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It wasn't like something they were selling.
Yeah, they didn't
But
have
it's
it in
kind-
stores.
No, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like that people get mad. I thought what Kid Rock did was funny. I laughed at it. I told him I thought it was funny. But I also, it doesn't make me mad.
Not at all.
It just makes me like, what?
Well,
Like
I think
that-
it's
I
because
just
we...
I get what they're doing though. They're trying to get people that are popular. They're just looking for influencers to help them.
And they're trying to look more inclusive because
Yeah.
of the assumptions people make about Bud Light drinkers.
But those assumptions,
And also, look at us. We're on the
Yeah.
biggest platform in the world discussing Bud Light for like 10 minutes.
right? It's
It
probably good
worked.
for the brand.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Shane loves it. I don't. Get it.
I like Miller Lite more.
I like Sam Adams. I like a dark beer.
Oh, I want a beer I can have like
an
17
amber
of,
lager.
man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to be sipping beer all night.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Stanhope used to like to do that. He used
Not
to like a
anymore.
light beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sober as fuck, except for the edibles.
Well, yeah.
But no cigarettes for Stanhope either.
Yeah.
He looked good the other day. I saw him. I was like, dude, you look younger.
I was hoping he'd still be here.
Like alive?
He's the man.
Oh, you mean
He
here.
fucking made my book happen, dude. It was all him.
He did tell me about it too. He was the
Yeah.
first person to tell me, and he gave me a copy of it.
Yeah.
He said, dude, you got to read this.
He gave it to Bert. He gave it to everybody.
Yeah.
He
And
put
then
it
I
on
started
hard.
watching it. So I saw that and I said, well, let me see if this guy's funny.
Yeah.
And so I went and watched some of your clips. I'm like, oh, all right, man.
Thanks,
I
man.
started following you and then
Yeah.
finally met you. And you got a chance to see the club before it ever
did.
got. I mean, what stage was it in when you visited?
That was probably June of last year.
So there was no seats. Was the cement even poured then?
No. And there was still that fucking... Do you remember?
The swastika?
The swastika.
Listen to this, folks. You want to hear a fucking story? So the club that I bought at one point in time, it's called the Ritz Theater. And
Yeah.
the Ritz Theater was a theater from 1927. It's been a lot of things. And at one point in time, it was a punk rock club. It was a pool hall at one point in time. It was a nudie movie theater back in the day. Stevie Ray Vaughan played there. Like,
Yeah.
you know that walkway when you get to the stage, there's a big frame photo of Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Yeah.
That photo is Stevie Ray Vaughan on stage at the Ritz in 1983.
Wow.
And so a lot of punk rock bands played there. The Butthole Surfers played
Yeah.
there. Misfits played there. A lot of people
Dicks,
played there.
Black Flag.
And somebody painted a swastika on the wall. Now here's where it gets stupid. I saw it because we had to like take down a lot of stuff, and we knocked down like these the wallboard and shit that was covering things. And then underneath all that on the brick, you see a swastika.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we should probably take that fucking swastika down.
Well, dude,
and everybody
you were-
was laughing. And so then no one took it down. And I came back like 2 months later. I'm like, hey, why is the fucking swastika still here? So then it gets to like we're almost open.
Yeah.
It gets to like a month before we're open. I'm like, take the fucking
that
swastika.
swa
Every time I
down.
come here, I'm like, how hard is it to just brush that down and knock that off the wall?
Yeah.
So you know what someone does? They clean it. So they
They- and it
cleaned it and they
pristine?
made it white. This is what they did because they clean it with this solvent to take out the black ink, and instead they left a white swastika.
It's more
And I was like,
pronounced.
Jesus fucking Christ! Do I have to spell this out? That's still a swastika. Get rid of it.
I didn't say enhance the
The whole
swastika.
thing. It's way easier to see now.
Well, you were saying like, I think I'm going to call the rooms Fat Man and Little Boy, but I'm a little worried people are going to be upset if they lost someone in World War II. And I was like, well, you know what else might piss some people off, Joe? That fucking huge swastika up there.
Yeah, that should have already been gone. The Fat Man and Little Boy thing is in reference. The whole reason for it, the thing is UFO themed.
Yeah.
And in the UFO lore, the UFOs come right after the detonation of Fat Man and Little Boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's named Fat Man and Little Boy, because I thought it'd be. And plus, one's big and one's small.
It makes sense.
It worked with the theme. In UFO folklore, that's like what happened, like that, and it makes sense if you look at the recorded sightings. It's like the news before 1947 is kind of sketchy anyway. It's like who knows what was reported.
Mm-hmm.
But after 1947, there's a shitload of sightings. A lot of like there's UFOs that flew over the White House.
Yeah.
And they were filmed. There's photographs of them. There's the Roswell crash, which is in 1947.
Been down there a couple times.
Have you been there?
My old man loves UFOs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my grandma's from northern New Mexico, so we've driven down to Roswell 2 or 3 times, and it's just a tourist trap now.
I have 2 brilliant friends that have 2 completely opposite views.
What do they think?
One brilliant friend is convinced they're from another planet or another
This
dimension.
person is from another planet,
No,
or the aliens?
No. The
Okay.
UFOs.
Okay.
That these things people are seeing. He said if you just look at the size of the universe and if you look at all of the possibilities for life and how life could be advanced 1,000, 100,000, 1,000,000 years more than us, especially if they're in some sort of a stable environment where they're not in an asteroid belt or anything like that and they don't have super volcanoes on their planet, whatever it is. If they got to a certain level, for sure they'd be able to visit. And if they did get to that level, they would be able to do things that we would think is magic. And that they would be able to go into the ocean, they'd be able to fly off at insane rates of speed and use methods of propulsion that we can't even understand. And he thinks that's what it is. He thinks that they are just observing and probably making sure that we don't knock ourselves back into the Stone Age.
So they're protectors?
No,
They're
I think
shepherds?
it's probably like an ecobiologist that goes into the jungle and
okay.
examines species.
It's
to
like a
make sure-
Darwinian thing.
Yeah, like imagine if like there was a type of sloth or something in the Amazon that was in danger of dying, and there was a lot of funding behind it, and they went there and they wanted to try to rescue the sloth and figure it out. They do stuff like that, right? So if we do stuff like that with limited resources and people have to donate money to these things, it's hard for them to get funded. Imagine if you're some super advanced civilization from another galaxy and you recognize that one planet has come into nuclear power. They now have nuclear capabilities. This signal goes out through the universe. Okay, these fucks are blowing themselves up.
These apes figured
let's
out.
go visit.
Yeah,
let's go visit. And that's the UFO folklore. Is that's when they all start showing up, and that's when you get like all the different crazy like Betty and Barney Hill, the abduction stories, all that stuff. All that stuff comes after 1947.
Craziest story about them is they were interracial in like the 50s.
Yeah, I think it was in Maine or something like that.
Yeah.
I know one of their granddaughters, Angela Hill. She's a fighter. She fights in the UFC.
No way.
Yeah, she's a top-ranked fighter in the UFC.
Yeah, what's the name of that fighter from Denver? Like the small lady fighter from Colorado?
Which one?
I don't know, dude. She has like short hair and she whips ass.
There's
Fuck.
quite a bit. Denver's got a good crop of fighters.
Yeah. Anyway, she's very pretty as
There's
well.
a lot of
Her name like Rose or something?
Rose Namajunas.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. She's
Shout out
from Denver,
Rose.
too. Rose is awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's fighting soon. I think she is.
I don't know.
I think she's fighting soon.
I wrestled in high school, but I never fought.
Did you?
Yeah. I had to. My coaches made me wrestle.
Football coaches did?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wrestling coach tried to get me to play football.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, we did, when we wrestled, there was a kid named Bobby Baker who was 300 pounds.
Ooh.
And I was like, look at him and look at me. I go, I'm not letting that guy chase me and run me over.
Oh, he's
That
not
would be-
chasing anybody.
But if I fucked up and I got too close,
Right.
Gets
Gets those big paws on you.
he's a bear. He was so big. He was so much bigger than everybody else. I'm like, that's just not happening, man. That's crazy.
Wrestling is brutal. I would play football at 320, and then I had to cut to 275.
Oh my
Like
god!
real quick, you know, because that's like the cutoff for heavyweights in Colorado.
How much time did you have to cut?
Fuck, like 6 weeks, 2 months.
Oh wow!
It was
that's a
all
lot
egg
of
whites
weight.
and clementine oranges and
Must
like
have felt like
chewing
shit.
tobacco. It was terrible.
You had to chew tobacco?
I pissed 8 pounds one time. I retained so much water that I urinated out 8 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, because after you make weight, then you just eat like a whole baguette and a bunch of Pop-Tarts, you know?
Oh, smart.
Yeah, well, that's what you do after you finally make weight. You
The
know?
fucked up thing about wrestling too is you have to make weight the day of the tournament.
I know, dude. Yeah.
That's
Wrestling
not good.
sucks.
That's
And also,
bad for
heavyweight wrestling's bad because it's just whoever falls down first wins.
That's not always true.
That's the whole thing. That was in my experience. If you went down, the guy laid on you, and you're just waiting for the bell. It was brutal. I was so bad on my feet. But then if you're on the bottom, luckily, you can just grab their arm and like try and roll with them. That's all of heavyweight wrestling.
How long did you wrestle for?
3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about doing jujitsu or something like that afterwards?
No, I don't have it in me.
No.
I mean, I don't have like the bloodlust, you know?
No, it's not a bloodlust thing. Most of the people I know that do jujitsu are nerds.
That's true. Joe List.
Really smart guys.
Yeah.
Bourdain wasn't really into it. You know, it's like a lot of people that are very intelligent get into it.
I don't know. I don't know if I have. I love competition, and I have that jock in me still. But the whole one-on-one, man-on-man thing, I don't know if like I would really not even excel, but really enjoy it.
It's not as aggressive as you think it is, especially with a good school. With a good school, it's really like you kind of flow, and you do it in a sense where you're not like exploding on each other. You're trying to learn the moves and execute the moves, and the other person trying to defend, execute their own moves. It's like
And the guy who's
playing
better
chess.
doesn't want to break you in half because there's
Exactly.
nothing in it for him.
When you're beginning, you're always not. I shouldn't say always. Most of the time, you're better off going with someone who is much better, because the people that are much better can take care of you. They're not going to hurt you. But there's a lawsuit that really recently got this guy was a jiu-jitsu coach. I think it's in California, and he did like a forward roll with a guy to take his back, and the guy's neck got caught in a bad situation and snapped his neck, and he got nerve damage and paralysis, and he just got awarded $46 million.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's not good. It's
That
one of
sets
those
a bad
things that-
precedent.
it does, but it's also it's a very unfortunate aspect of jiu-jitsu that you occasionally are going to get a bad injury. And I know of people in MMA class that got paralyzed, particularly when someone goes for a guillotine. If someone shoots in for a double, sometimes guys will go for a guillotine, and if they catch the neck and the guy who's shooting the double lands on his head.
Yeah, as they're falling.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It has happened before, and guys have been paralyzed doing that. And in I was reading this thing about judo dojos in Japan, and that deaths do happen, where guys get spiked on their head, they get thrown and slammed on their head. Like every year, someone dies doing judo in Japan.
But that's probably like a revered way to go out in Japan, you know?
Probably.
I don't want to say honorable because that's hacky, but
Right.
there is like a commitment to craft over there that is unlike anything we have here.
Yeah, especially in regards to martial arts. Like
Yeah.
that culture really rewards that commitment
Dude,
to craft.
sumo? Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was in Japan at the beginning of the year and I didn't get to see sumo.
The
but
point is, though, it's like it's dangerous. Just like playing football is dangerous. People
what you
die
signed up
playing
for.
football.
Yeah, there's
It's
a risk.
like, and that the thing is about that guy, they were trying to paint him that he was a total beginner, but the reality was he had years of wrestling, and he had at least, I believe it was at least 2 years of jiu-jitsu. 2 years of jiu-jitsu is not. I mean, it's a beginner in a sense, but it's not someone who doesn't know what they're doing, especially someone who's already done a couple of years of grappling. I think it was just a freak accident. When I saw it, it looked like a freak accident. And the majority of the people that I talked to that were jiu-jitsu guys, they also thought it was a freak accident.
But 46 million?
I mean, who knows if that's going to stick in appeals. I mean, obviously the guy needs to be compensated somehow or another, insurance or something.
Yeah,
He's
but he
badly
signed up
injured.
for it though.
I know, but I think most of those
Isn't there a
places have-
waiver?
Yeah, but there's probably like catastrophic injury insurance or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, you do sign up for it. And, you know, I've definitely been hurt. It happens. I've had multiple surgeries from jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Both my knees I had surgeries on because of jiu-jitsu. My nose, well, my nose was fucked up for a long time, but like had some real problems with my back and my neck, bulging discs and shit that I had to get treated with stem cells and PRP and stuff like that. It's one of those things. It's like you're signing up for a dangerous game.
I think sports are very important for youth, and I loved being on a team. I think being an offensive lineman made me a better host as a comedian because I was used to like never touching the ball and never getting the accolades. I literally think those translated, like those two skills.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, so you could be the guy who brings up the really good people that everybody's there to see.
Yeah, and
It
also
doesn't fuck
do a
with your
good job
head.
setting the table for the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
It made you like selfless in a way, you know?
It's also like hosting is a very interesting job too, because one of the things that it does is it allows you to get comfortable on stage and comfortable like with transitions, and it gives you like reps.
Yeah.
Like it's just different kind of reps, almost like cross training a little bit.
It's the easiest way to get a lot of stage time early because you're physically on stage, even if you are doing 7 minutes up front.
Yeah.
You have to do the gaps in between. Mm-hmm. If you become a good host, that's your way to getting in at any club.
Where were you at the Comedy Works in Denver?
Yeah, it's my home club.
That's the shit.
I'm a company man, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
didn't see it. Is it 40 years ago?
Yeah, 40 years.
Wow.
81.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know when I first went there.
Dude, I got a story for you there. Remember when you tried to move to Boulder for a while?
Yeah.
So you came down and like did, I think, New Talent Night on Tuesday. You just closed their New Talent Night.
Yeah.
And a lot of us were on that show, just like randomly. So then Open for Joe Rogan went in like 13 people's bios the day after that show because we happened to be on a show that you closed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Yeah, no, it was good, man.
That was fun. I wish I could have stayed.
Yeah, that would have been wild if you set up what you did here in Boulder.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to do it back then because I didn't even have a podcast. That was pre-podcast.
Pre-podcast?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the reasons why I started the podcast is I was bummed out that I had to leave Colorado.
Huh.
I had to come back to LA. My wife got pregnant. And back then, if you are pregnant at high altitude, it's very rough. It's like having the flu.
Yeah, altitude sickness.
Yeah, and when we came back, also she couldn't drive in snow, but that's another story. But when we came back, it was like immediate difference in being at altitude versus like where we were at was like 8,000 feet above sea level. It was very high.
Yeah.
It was awesome though, but it's like I got a dog eaten by a mountain lion up there. It's like
Right away?
It was rough. Yeah, little dog left him in the yard.
Jesus Christ.
It's sketchy. You're dealing with like real wild shit up there. Like, you see porcupines and foxes, and occasionally you'll see something crazy like a mountain lion. I saw one mountain lion in between the trees once, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Could only see it like briefly, like Bigfoot, like just moving through the trees. But I saw this four-legged thing just moving through the trees, and I was like, oh shit, I think that's a mountain lion.
Damn, dude.
And the neighbors all saw them. They saw them all over the place.
They used to be around my middle school all the time. We'd have to have indoor recess because there was mountain lions outside.
In one of the places near where I was staying, this guy left his door like either partially ajar, or the bear figured out how to get into his car. And maybe the bear opened the door was unlocked. So the bear opened the door and ate his seats, ate his dashboard, ate everything.
Just dumb are bears.
They just smelled leather.
Yeah.
They just assumed that it was an animal.
I don't like that a bear can open a car door. That doesn't feel good.
Well, I think they're smart, man, and if they've done it before, that's the thing about bears when they attack. They were discussing that to us when we move up there. They said if they get your garbage, like it's a real problem because they're never going to stop coming back.
Yeah.
Once the
It's a food
bears
source.
once they find it, they're like, you don't scare them off. You scare them off for now.
That was like
For
me at
now.
that 7-Eleven dumpster, man. As soon as I found out they had the hot and readies in there, I was like, yeah.
Fucking
I went
clang.
Ursine. Yeah.
Those-
I was on all fours.
It's a funny story now to look back, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I loved it, man.
That's one of the awesome things about like pulling it off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, like being here after doing it so hard for so long, like I did it, it feels cool when something pays off in comedy.
Yeah, it does. Like,
Because I did it like gnarly. Like Joey Coco Diaz, when he tells those stories, I'm like, oh, I did that as well.
yeah,
Like it's fucked, but it was
that's how everybody
great.
does it. You do those tribble runs. You do
Yeah.
those weird gigs in the middle of nowhere.
Entertainment Max.
Everybody has those stories.
Yeah. And
It's
I
one of
mean,
the fun things about doing comedy.
it's the best, dude.
That's why those YouTube guys are fucked.
I
Like if
know.
you get famous on YouTube and then you start doing comedy as an open micer, when
Yeah.
you're already famous. Like, you already got your own crowds coming to see you.
But their crowds are dumb because they're into that kind of humor. Like comedy's so big now that it's boutique and you can find exactly what you think is funny.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So if you want to be a YouTube guy's fan and go to see his shows, you don't care that he's not competent at comedy because you just want to get the fucking selfie with him after the show. Have you seen the meet and greets for those YouTube guys shows?
No.
So they'll do like 35 minutes, and then they'll do a Q&A typically, and then there's like a 2.5 hour meet and greet afterward, where people come on, buy the T-shirt, take the picture. That's the whole show.
They want the gram.
They want the gram. That's why people attend.
Oh.
And those YouTube guys are printing money.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they get a guy like me hosting for them, and you fucking bury him. But then you look out at the crowd, and you're like, oh, you guys don't know what good comedy is. You guys just want to see, fucking Lefty Razor coming up next.
They're just happy to see that Twitch guy.
Yeah.
The guy was really good at playing video games.
Yeah.
Strange.
What a skill, dude.
It's a weird thing, but is it any weirder than like fucking news anchors? Is it any weirder than anybody who becomes famous for no fucking reason?
In matters of taste, there is no debate. So if you're into that shit, go crazy. I think it's good overall because now people who might not have gone to comedy clubs are getting into the comedy club system. So they get that email and then they receive the, hey, it's your birthday, bring 20 friends type shit. Mm-hmm. And then it gets more people to get eyes on comedy, even if it is through like an ulterior way.
Yeah, that's true. What freaks people out though is when YouTube guys start doing weekends at a club they used to work at and they go, hey, what the fuck?
We're all pissed. Yeah.
It's not even really comedy.
I know. And then I have to do a rap date there. And it's like, what the fuck?
What's a rap date?
It's like a Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday,
Oh, rap. So you rap around the weekend where the YouTubers are there.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's fun too, though.
I mean, it's fun to be in a comedy club.
It's fun for the crowd.
It's fun to go from like the warehouses that I was performing in to... Because I came at it from like a punk rock, like hardcore DIY thing where it's like, I'll perform anywhere. And then you just live on the road and you would come home. I'd be gone for like 3 weeks and come home with like $600. My wife would be like, why? And it's like, well, I'm getting good,
Like one day, baby.
Yeah, one day I'll be on JRE.
She's got to be happy now.
She's stoked. I mean, when she met me, she knew what it was. I was already on the road.
So you're already working.
Yeah, I've been on the road since like 2008, doing all those mountain show gigs. Opening for people in like Gillette, Wyoming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are those like?
Terrible. Dog shit. Dude.
What's in Gillette, Wyoming?
Mingles. Mingles is in Gillette, Wyoming.
Paint a picture for me.
You walk in, all right? You've got a big disco ball. You have a linoleum floor in a bar for some reason. There's all those like terrible chairs that they brought in from a church, like the hard like metal chairs that wrestlers would hit each other with. Uh-huh. You walk in, there's 7 TVs. They turn off whatever the local high school football game is, and you have to perform. You go up, you do 20 minutes, eat your ass for people who, they don't know what comedy is. They're not the most like, they're not into creative comedy. They're like Vegas crowds, but they can't afford to go to Vegas. All right, and then you see like the worst hack in the world go on and kill after you. And you're like, oh, what am I doing here? And then the hack tries to fuck some old lady, and you have to sleep in the bathtub because you're sharing a hotel room. And you get $100 and you have to split gas. That's those shows, dude.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Dude, one time I did a show up there with this guy who, I'm not going to say his name, but after the show, the lady's like, you guys hungry? And I was like, yes, I'm hungry. And he's like, we're okay. And she's like, well, we got the best fucking chicken wings in the world up here. And he's like, oh, we're good. Hour goes by, we're drinking. He's like, hey, what's up with those chicken wings? And they're like, oh, we turned the fryer off like a half hour ago. And the guy's like, man, chicken wings sound good right now, don't they, Sam? And I'm like, I guess, yeah, sure. So that he's like, what about those chicken wings? And they're like, we can't. We have to like get the chef back in here and like get the fryer going again. And he's like, yeah, we got time. You guys want to do that? So they're like, okay, right on, sir. So they fucking get the fryer going again. The guy who does the chicken wings comes back. They're like, so how do you want your chicken wings done? And he's like, I want them spicy. And they're like, well, we got real spicy wings. And he's like, that's good. So we're there for another 45 minutes as the fryer wheel is heating up. They finally put the wings in. They come out. They give him the wings. He takes a bite. He goes, ooh, these are spicy. And they're like, yeah, you said you want them spicy. And he's like, I can't have these. And he fucking left.
Wow.
And that guy was like the coolest guy in the world to me at this time. That's the guy I aspired to be. You know what I mean? That's the dude. That's the dude who gave me the shot. That fucking ascended hand of God came down and touched me.
But isn't it also like an education to like that kind of comic?
Yeah.
Because you don't know about that kind of comic until you work with them on the road. And you realize like that's why we're in the middle of Wyoming doing this gig. And this guy's been doing comedy for 15 years.
And he's making $350 tonight.
Yeah.
And I dropped out of college to do this gig with him, Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the people don't think about like that kind of comedy. People forget, like that's my fucking book is all about that guy.
Yeah.
People forget about the dudes who are out there fucking doing 12 nights in a row.
There's a lot of them.
There's a shitload.
A lot of
And they
them.
just are there to sell merch. That's their whole thing. They just run their sad flea market after the shows, and people come up and they, their shirt says like "I'm was stupid" with an arrow pointing down to their dick, and then it's like a link to like a fucking Angel Fire website on the back of it. And then their whole thing is like trying to bang someone's daughter or like find the worst cocaine in South Dakota. Oh. And they think they're fucking cool. And then you have to share a room with these guys and they'll be like, all right, in the bathtub with you. I got a lady coming over. They like throw you a pillow. They're like, all right, I'll knock on the door when I'm done.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I did that for like 3 years. And I would call home and be like, Mom and Dad, I made it,
Wow.
I'm living my dream right now.
I did a college where I had to stand on stage, and the stage was 2 like lunch tables that they pushed together.
Middle of the
so
day?
You literally middle of the day.
Yeah, of
So you
course.
literally, there's a speaker up there with you, and you're standing on these rickety lunch tables. Mm-hmm. These guys were calling me a fag, yelling out, and I started tearing them apart. And when I started tearing them apart, then all of a sudden everybody starts laughing.
Yeah.
And they come up to the side of the stage and said, "You're not allowed to swear." I go, "Not allowed to swear? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?" And then I turned them against them. I'm like, "Listen to this, folks. You guys are, how many of you are 18?
Of course.
They all start cheering. I go, "So you guys are old enough to go to war.
Yeah.
You're old enough to die for your country.
Yeah.
But this fucking guy over here doesn't think I can swear in front of you because you don't know, like, I don't want to tarnish your pristine little minds."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Fuck this place. Let's light this place on fire." And everybody starts screaming and cheering. And then the guy goes, "Fine, we'll deal with the consequences later. Do whatever you want." I go, "I was going to do whatever I wanted anyway."
Yeah.
He just told me I could do whatever I want. Like, did you not understand that I was already doing whatever I want?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't give me clearance to do whatever the fuck I want.
But it all of a sudden became fun. Because
Right.
it became like, here's this 24-year-old visiting these 18-year-olds,
Right.
talking shit with them.
And you're like an old man to them.
I was old as fuck,
Yeah.
24. I was an old man. I'm like, listen, none of these people know what the fuck is going on.
None
They're
of
all
this shit
trapped
matters.
here.
Yeah.
They're in Olivet, Michigan.
Right.
Okay, there's no reason. They don't want to be here. This is a disaster. The directions I got
This is
to
a
get here.
disaster.
So I started talking about the directions that I got. They were so wrong. They couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
It's like someone not knowing what the roads are and just writing things. I had to get directions from someone else that was unrelated. I had to make 3 or 4 different phone calls in the days of no cell phones. So I had to pull over to gas stations, find a payphone. Where the fuck is your college?
Yeah.
And these are the people that were like teaching young people. Yes. Morons.
Molding young minds.
And when he had a conversation with me afterwards when he was writing me a check, he's like, "I'm going to talk to your agent about this." I go, "Talk to my agent." And so here's another thing. How about tell the fucking people they can't yell out obscenities?
Yeah, they can't
and stop
slur
the
me.
show.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of doing comedy, and comedy happens. Like, that's what you do. Do you know that's my job?
Yeah.
When someone starts yelling shit at me, I go, "What did you say, sir?" And then we're having fun. Okay? Do you understand that is what you paid me to do?
Yeah.
If you don't police the crowd, if you didn't ask these children to be nice and be good audience members, then it's like a regular show.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a regular show anyway, stupid. I'm a comedian.
Also, it's the middle of the day. These kids are trying to study, and you just fucking sprung me on them. Ambush comedy is a nightmare, dude.
And they were animals. These were all football players.
Yeah.
There was like
it was one of those?
Yes, there
Oh,
was a lot
shit.
of them. The whole football team was there, and they were animals.
Yeah.
But it was fun. As soon as I turned on that guy, and then we were having a party.
Right, then they get it.
And then they were like,
They know you're
"Oh,
cool."
Yeah, then it was fun.
Yeah,
I was
'cause
like,
you
"Look,
swore.
I did. I was like your age. I did this stage of life.
Yeah.
These fucking people these are not the people you should be listening to."
Yeah. You turn to the guys yelling at you,
Yeah.
make them flinch. And they're like, yes! He's one of ours.
Hit him! Fucking hit
You
him!
pants him and shove him over.
Yeah, shoot a Bud Light.
Yeah, shotgun it. Oh, dude, those college gigs. I used to do a frat gig in Boulder up at CU where they would make all the pledges wear a pink hat. And it was just my job to go in there and like pretty much MK Ultra them. Like they would like give me information on these kids and it was my job to like roast them to the point of wanting to quit the fucking fraternity. And it paid like, $800. And I was like, yes, this is the greatest in the world. So then you're just like, Chinese, wrong. Look at this guy, clearly gay, And like all the frat guys are in the back being like, yes, he's doing it. Yes. Has 2 moms, lesbian parents, Like, how does he know this? Clubfoot.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
Where are my AV brothers at?
Yes.
Where's the AV room boys at? Those are the original tech people.
Yeah, dude.
Remember the AV room?
Mm-hmm. They would
Man.
not want you in there.
No.
No. If you showed up, they'd say, please leave, sir.
Sir, this is not for you.
You're like younger than them and they're calling you sir. That honey get you a little bit? I'm
It's
feeling
doing something
giggly.
probably.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll give it a little more
I
time.
thought I was going to freak out and like take my shirt off.
I was a little worried about that. But I felt like it's worth the gamble.
It was, dude. It's very
if,
good.
if I fucked it up, we'll just do it again another time.
Yeah.
We'll just have a redo.
I like
Ooh.
it. Yeah.
Tonight's going to be fun.
We'll have a
Very
nice
excited.
time. I'll be confused in there.
Chris
and sweaty.
Stefano's coming tonight, too.
Sick, man. Right on.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time.
I like Christy.
Yeah, he's in town. He's doing a gig tomorrow night at the Paramount, I think. One of the big theaters up here, I think. I think that's it.
That's where I first met Egit.
Adam Egan. He's
Love
the fucking
Egit,
man.
dude. He's the greatest.
Silly fucker.
We've become very good friends. We text each other music like we're dating.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. We have very
What kind of
similar sense-
music?
like old hardcore and shit.
Oh, look at you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you're the one who put that swastika up on my wall.
I couldn't get
Son
up a ladder.
Of a bitch.
What are you,
you
crazy?
son of a bitch. That's why you're so into that thing.
I love the swan.
You're laughing because it was you.
Yes, it was me the whole time, Joe.
It was so ridiculous looking at it. I was like, why is it still here? Like, I understand that nobody here made it, but you got to just fucking.
That should have been the
Get
first
rid
thing.
of that.
Yeah. You know about the Eiffel Tower during the German occupation?
Yeah.
They'd put a fucking swa on the top of the Eiffel Tower, like a big flag.
Really?
And every day, Frenchmen would climb the tower and they'd get shot down or fall off until one of them got that fucking swastika off the tower. Yeah. Yeah, they resisted pretty hard.
Wow.
But think about how majestic that swa must have looked flapping up there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that thing that they did with Shia LaBeouf when he had that website.
Oh, yeah, and 4chan got to the
He
bottom
would not
of it.
replace, or he would not divide us.
Yeah. And then they use like
4chan
flight
found-
patterns and
yes.
shit. Yeah.
It was the most brilliant thing that anyone's ever done.
It's
on the
weaponized
internet.
autism. Yeah.
It was amazing. And then, do you know that Radiolab took the podcast down where they were describing it?
No.
They had a whole podcast.
I heard that podcast.
episode.
Why'd they
And-
take it down?
Because they were saying that 4chan is associated with racism and homophobia and all sorts of other things, and it's just like to elevate that website
Yeah.
and to talk about that. And so they decided to delete it. But I had already listened to it by the time they deleted it. Is it back up?
No, I mean, you can find it. I've just found it. But
Okay,
this
so
is
here's
their
what the
website.
Radiolab has decided to take down this episode. Some listeners called us out. Called us out that's so fucking woke speak. They called us out, saying that in telling the capture the flag story in the way that we did, we essentially condoned some pretty despicable ideology and behavior. No, you're not. You're just talking about a thing that happened.
Yeah, you're just giving information.
Yeah, to all the listeners who felt that way and to everyone else, please know that we hear you and that we take these criticisms to heart. I feel awful that the things we said could be interpreted that way. That's on us. It was certainly not our intention, and we apologize.
Dude, that's fucking lame. That's pussy shit right there.
It doesn't make sense because
Dude.
if you listen to what it was like they just thought that Shia LaBeouf, how do you say it? LaBeouf?
LaBeouf, I think.
They just thought he was being ridiculous.
Yeah.
They thought he was being self-aggrandizing and just a silly actor fuck.
Very pretentious.
Very pretentious.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's find that fucking
get his
flag.
ass. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one connected to that. That's like when you're reading that or seeing that and you're listening to that, you just have like internet wizards figured out a
Yeah.
way to get to a spot where something annoying was on the internet.
Yeah, where a
And
dork
they-
was flexing.
and they won. Some
That's
dork
the wasp.
flexed and
That's
they
the
won.
wasp getting into the honeybees, dude.
Yes.
They ate his larva.
They ate his larva.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes up to the camera and goes, fuck Shia LaBeouf. Is that still available? Can we hear that? See if you can find that. Because that shit's amazing.
Yeah, dude.
I remember listening to that Radio Lab and go, that's so clever that
Yeah.
those guys figured that out. And how did that get connected to ideology? Just because some of it exists on an internet free website like
Yeah.
4chan where basically anything goes.
It's just unmoderated free speech.
Yes, it's
That's what happens sometimes.
That doesn't mean that the people who did that are in lockstep with any ideology.
No, they're not Nazis because they figured out where Shia LaBeouf's art installation
Yeah,
was.
no one knows. Like, I haven't even heard an argument. I mean, maybe there have been ones about the people that actually did it.
I
It
mean,
was all just like that website is bad. So don't say that. Don't talk about this awesome thing that happened.
that's so condescending. It's so paternalistic to be like, we can't give you this information because it
Right.
might make you frown. It's
Well,
like,
that's
fucking A, dude.
Kids are being used to being treated that way. That's why they're demanding it. Like, you should be able to listen to an actual Nazi talk.
Yes.
Because it's educational.
Yeah.
Because you get to see this, like, slippery logic they use and apply it to human beings and how disgusting it is. And how it's always been like that throughout history. People have othered people for whatever reason. And usually it's because it makes it easier to subjugate them, easier to dominate them.
Dude, Hitler was no good, but he could move a crowd.
God damn, could he fucking
That
give a
guy
speech.
killed. That wily Austrian.
We watched a speech of his versus who was it that we opposed it? Put it opposite of.
Bernie Mac. I'm not scared of you motherfuckers set versus Hitler.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That's like one of the best opening lines ever.
Have you seen Corey Holcomb at Shaq's benefit, dude?
No, I haven't. Oh, what
Send
is
you
that?
a clip.
What do you got,
I was
James?
hoping this was the fuck Shia LaBeouf part, but it's not.
Is this where they figured
This
it
is
out?
the, like,
So this is the
edited
actual
video.
flag.
Yeah.
So this is the unedited video. The fact that they figured this out is
Dude.
just amazing.
4chan rules.
That's just amazing. Location found.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
Fuck Shia
It
LaBeouf.
shows all of the posts that they made
Yeah.
going through it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they may put some music behind this. I can't.
So those the guys that did it?
I honestly don't know.
4chan is using flight plans.
Yeah.
Look at that. Go back to that. 4chan is using flight plans to locate the "He Will Not Divide Us" flag. Godspeed, lads.
This is
Let
what
the
happens
games begin. This
when
is
you-
amazing.
When you don't get any pussy for long enough.
Yeah, man, you're fucking with nerds.
Yeah,
you
that's a
know
bad
these
move.
guys are dangerous,
Yeah, dude.
and they're having a good time, and they won.
They got his
They
ass.
won, so it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Do you know what that must have felt like when they got that flag? It must have been like when Israel Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira.
Right on the button.
You know, it's like this thing that you like. How did we do it?
That's when they got the flag. They put the
Oh,
4chan
fuck.
timer on.
4:36 a.m. That's dedication. They're disciplined.
Yeah.
They're up at 4:36 a.m.
Yeah.
capturing flags.
That's also organic anarchy. That's people working together with
Yeah.
like-minded ideals, you know?
I'm a fan.
Yeah, hell
I'm
yeah,
a fan
dude.
of that kind of work.
Yes.
How did they take that episode down? The episode was really well done too. It's unfortunate because it doesn't condone anything. That's
No.
not true. And this whole they called us out. Like, no, they didn't. They complained about something. Your work should stand for itself, and I thought it did. It's silly.
Also, you can't live in this bubble where you don't know about
Yeah.
ulterior modes of thought, you know? Like, if you just found out about 4chan from that Radiolette episode, that's on you for not being engaged in the cultural conversation. That's
You know,
bullshit.
That's one of the fears that people have about Twitter.
Oh,
When
yeah.
Elon took over,
Yeah.
the fears they have about Twitter is it basically becomes 4chan on wheels. It's like
4chan with advertising.
it's 4chan owned by the biggest billionaire troll that's ever existed. I mean, Elon trolls people.
Yeah.
He
The only
trolled
difference is
Bill
there's
Gates.
girls on Twitter. There's none on 4chan.
Yeah, there's probably no girls on 4chan.
Yeah.
Well, there are those incels that decide to go trans. You know,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
There's like a
Oh,
word for that
femboys.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there's like a word for incels that specifically decide to go trans.
Yeah, they got like Hypnode or whatever.
What are they called? Jamie, do you know? How you doing over there with that honey?
I'm loving it, dude.
You
I'm
all right?
coming alive. Yeah.
It seems to be affecting you.
I'm having a
It
nice
seems to
time.
be different than it's affecting me. I'm wondering why.
I don't know, dude. Maybe because I'm a big fat guy and you're cut from marble? Maybe we
it's-
have different metabolisms?
Well, I'm wondering like what is it about the honey that like because the other guy that took he took more than me. Transmaxing.
I'm giggling.
This is a subculture of young men who embrace trans identities,
Yeah.
not because they believe they were born the wrong body, but because they can't get no pussy.
Dude,
They
did you
just
hear
want
about the
someone to
dude
touch 'em.
who ran the Discord cult where he would, like, if you want to get in and be able to see photos of ladies like this, you have to send me a photo of yourself dressed up like a lady like this. That was like a way to prove that you were cool. And then he was blackmailing all these dudes being like, look, he's trans. we got his ass. And like threatening to send these pictures to their family. And then they would have to
That's-
send Bitcoin and shit to this guy.
The problem with not being funny. Because a photo of me in a dress is worth $0
I know,
to me.
dude.
Like, well, yeah, okay, I put a dress on. So
Big deal.
What?
Yeah, look at my lipstick.
Yeah, what are you
I look
talking about,
great.
bro?
I look
I'll
like
put
fucking
some fake eyelashes on, bitch.
I look like Rosie O'Donnell over here.
if someone got a photo of me like wearing high heels, walking around in girls' underwear,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I did that. Thought it was funny.
We're bulletproof in that way.
In that way.
Yeah.
But man, if you're a banker and there's pictures of you in a dress, you're fucked, man.
Yeah.
You're in fucking deep shit.
Yeah, if you work at like a college.
Yeah, you're in deep shit.
Then they're mad at you for appropriating culture.
That's one great thing about working for the UFC. If they caught you like wearing a dress somewhere, no one would give a shit.
Yeah, they'd probably like blow it up and put it in the locker room.
They'd be like, see, we're inclusive.
Exactly, yeah. We're making
Let's
friends all
go.
over.
Let's go.
You went full tycoon over there.
Let's go. Yeah, when you lean back with a cigar,
yeah.
it's tycoon.
Where's
Feels
that
good,
fucking
though.
lighter, dude? I
Oh,
can't keep
sorry.
this thing lit.
Sorry. There you go. I should have another one, but Ari stole it.
I keep
I
blowing
used to have two
smoke.
here. But Ari Shafi, I think I might have told him he could have it, though. Did I tell him he could have it? We were a little lit by that time. So how many days are you in town for, Mr. Tallent?
I leave on Thursday, man.
Nice.
I'm doing your lovely comedy club tomorrow. I'm in the
Nice.
Little Boy. The Fat Man's in the Little Boy.
Yeah, the little room is awesome. It's
Yeah.
such an intimate little room. It's such a cool little room. That's where Chappelle did his.
Dude.
He did the first night there, the first show.
Mm-hmm. I
Shane
was there
Gillis
that night.
and Chappelle was the first show ever in that
Yeah.
room, which is what an amazing show.
I know. I was here for South by and Chappelle was going on and I had to run over and do my South by shows and I was like, fuck, I want to stay here. I want to experience.
It was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope. It was cool to have. First of all, it was cool to have Louis in early because Louis gave me some really, really good advice, and we fixed some things because of his advice. Like right before cement was about to be poured, we shrunk the stage in the little room. It was Louis' advice.
Yeah.
And we dropped the ceiling down a little bit in the little room, and that was also Louis' advice. It was already a pretty small ceiling, but he's like, drop it down even more, like make it flat, like right here. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can like palm the ceiling in there.
Yeah. And then in the big room, he had us drop the main ceiling down as well. It's nice, man. It's nice to have. It's nice to have it set up that way, and to have guys like him and his advice, and to have Dave come down, and Dave's just loved it. And Dave's building his own place. He's building his own place in Yellow Springs.
In Ohio?
Yeah, it's called the Firehouse. It used to
Nice.
be an actual firehouse.
Whoa, is there going to be a pole to the stage?
I don't know. That would be cool.
That'd be great.
I don't know if it's still there. Like, I mean, maybe it's been something since then, but it used to be a firehouse. And, having him come out and checking this out, and then he's like, dude, now I'm inspired. So whatever he's going to do in Yellow Springs is going to be very interesting because I think he's doing 120 seats.
Holy shit.
I think he's doing the size of Little Boy.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Imagine that. Like, you can go see Dave Chappelle at any given night.
Like in his backyard.
What a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's Dave Chappelle. He could do that anywhere. Like,
Well-
why not? Why not, like, build your own club and have the people come to you? Because,
Right.
of course, they're going to come to see Dave Chappelle.
It'll be a vacation destination.
Fuck
like
yeah.
your club is.
Fuck
People were from
yeah.
all over the world last night at Kill Tony.
But I don't know how many hotels they have in Yellow Springs. Probably
Build a hotel.
build a fucking hotel.
Yeah, dude, become the monopoly.
Then the neighbor's going to complain. This Dave Chappelle.
Kill the neighbors.
Kill the neighbors.
who cares, Dave?
I like how you think immediately with the perfect answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that spot's going to be, it's going to be
The
interesting to
perfect
see if more comics start doing this, buying and opening clubs.
I was with, damn, dude, Shane's so fucking funny. I was with Shane last weekend, and he was talking about the club and just like how if you got a bunch of like comedians in a room, like monkeys with a typewriter,
Yeah.
like they would hammer it out, and it would fucking look like your club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
perfect, dude.
Well, it's because it was built just for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had all this time, already had the employees lined up, so it was like there's all this time to just do it right.
And you assembled a squad, dude. You got like
Yeah.
the A team in there.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome people.
Yeah. And now I got to hang out with Egit, and we got to sit in the back and say rude things to each other. When
And the fact that all this is happening while like a really robust open mic program is happening too.
dude, you got a farm team, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in a way.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You should be proud of yourself.
I'm excited. About it. I mean, it's one of those things you probably shouldn't think about too much.
No,
Just accept it.
I think that's why the honey is working for me, because this whole time I was sitting here thinking I'm on the Joe Rogan experience, and then the honey hit, and I'm like, oh, I'm just like trying to keep a cigar lit and drinking a beer with a cool guy.
But that's what it really is.
Yeah,
That's what's weird about it being this popular. It's just hanging out.
I know. But this is like a really big deal, Like maybe I'll sell out Cedar Rapids this weekend.
Well, I hope you do. You're a funny guy.
Thanks, man.
It's it's nice to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one of the cool things
Putting
about
people
this gig.
on.
Yeah, I love it,
dude. All
It's,
these skulls.
You know, there's not that many of us, buddy, out there in the world. There's
People
maybe-
with skulls?
Maybe no.
Oh, comedians.
There might be like 1,000 of us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not that many.
I don't know, dude. I've been traveling the world a lot doing stand up because like that's a real up and coming thing now. Like Paris and like Bratislava and stuff, Italy, like Barcelona. And there's a lot of comics out there, but good God, American comedians are the best to ever do it.
Yeah, it's
I'll
our
say
shit.
that.
It's our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we invented the timing, we invented the whole rhythm of the thing. It's
There's
like rock and roll.
something about, I don't know what it is, but there's something about the way like a lot of Europeans are raised that it's a hurdle to get to American stand-up. Less of a hurdle for Australians. They slide right into it.
They're funny people,
Yeah,
though. They're
but-
wild.
Yeah, my boy Monty Franklin's coming tonight too.
Nice.
But in terms of like English versus American, there's a few guys like there's Ricky Gervais and there's a few guys who could really do it. But it's like it's a different style of communication over there.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily apply that directly without completely remapping how you talk about things.
It's the whole storytelling thing they do over there, dude. Yeah. I mean, Jim Jeffries, obviously, he rules. That Connolly guy, he's fucking
Billy
good.
Connolly.
Yeah.
Scotland, right?
But it's like, if you go to a place where it's English as a second language and you're the American comedian, you're
Yeah.
bodying everyone. It's nuts. It's a bloodbath in
Why do
there.
you think the level over here is so much higher?
Because we've been doing it longer.
Is that what it is?
I think so. And also, like, we value humor than a lot more than other places do, I think.
I think also it's real hard to develop if you're the funniest guy in the room.
Oh, yeah, for
You know,
sure.
I think,
Yeah. You
one
have
of-
to have people you aspire to.
Yeah, and that's one of the more important things about comedy communities. And that's one of the things that I thought a lot about when I first got here. When I first got here, before I thought about, like, Jesus Christ, you really want to open up a fucking comedy club?
Right,
Is
yeah.
that really what you want to do with your time? You don't have time already. You don't have any time.
Right.
How you going to do this? But then I thought, like, that's actually a very valuable piece of the puzzle. And the more I didn't have it, the more I was realizing, like it's most of my fun at nighttime is hanging out with comics and talking. Most of my fun at nighttime. It's either, like talking in the green room, or it's fucking around after the show, going and having a drink or getting something to eat. Like, that's like some of the most fun times I have.
That's why we're the luckiest people, dude. Because
Yeah.
everywhere you go, you hang out with the funniest people in that city.
Yeah, but if you don't have that, if you're just in, whatever, some weird town somewhere and you start an open mic night, it's hard to get good.
Oh, for sure.
You need like real comics around you, like
Yeah.
really good comics around you. It's not even enough to be watching it on YouTube. You got to kind of see it live.
Yeah.
You got to experience it live.
It's like you go on the road and then you meet someone really funny in like South Bend or Cincinnati and you're like, yo, dude, you got to get the fuck out of here. You got to go somewhere else because you're really funny and you're not going to get as funny as you can here.
And there's also a thing that happens when comics get established.
Yeah.
And then they get their own audience, and then they bring the weakest possible opening act. And then they go on afterwards only in front of their audience, and they look like a hero.
Right, yeah.
And it's a weird thing because your act sort of deteriorates without you even knowing it.
Right, yeah. You ossify. You get soft, yeah.
Yeah, some shit goes wrong. You got to be around the killers, man. You got to be. Bill Burr said this once. He was talking about somebody, and he goes, "You got to do the clubs. You got to do the clubs. These guys, they get to a certain point, they stop doing the clubs, and their act falls apart.
Yeah.
It's 100% true. Like, you got to do it in front of live people, small crowds, medium crowds, and that's why we set up these two rooms. We have small and then a regular.
Yeah.
Like a 250 and a 120, which is like the right numbers. It's like 300 is the magic number for a comedy club. For it to be intimate but still big, 300 is the magic number. So anywhere you can get between like 250 and 300 is like the sweet zone.
It's like comedy works.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the sweet zone. You get to those big fucking stand-up live in Phoenix, that's huge.
It's impersonal.
It's so big. It's like a small theater. It's
funny
fun
to
for
watch-
the people in the front, but it's like a small theater.
You watch people do crowd work in those big rooms, and there's people in back, and it's like, who's he talking to?
Zero idea
You
what's
just see
going
the back
on.
of a head back there.
Yeah, they have zero idea what's going on.
It's funny when I was opening for Tim, figuring out how to do comedy in front of like 300 or 3,600 people or whatever it is, because you can't do crowd work.
Right,
You
right,
have to have
right.
an act.
Yeah.
And that's when I got super strong, is I had like a bulletproof 25 instead of relying on like riffing or, talking to the crowd. It's like, no, here are my jokes, and these are proven. I can't imagine those arenas you do. Those are fucking crazy, dude.
Those are weird, but they're actually kind of intimate if it's in the round.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that an arena like where the back is the stage and the audience is in front of you, like normal, is as intimate as a theater. It's less intimate than a theater, but more people. But when you're in the round, there's something about being in the round that's more intimate than a theater. It's really weird because you're surrounded by people and the people are seeing the other people. Like everybody sees everybody and everybody's enjoying. One of the things about laughter is it's contagious.
For sure.
You're actually looking straight ahead at people laughing. It's kind of more fun.
Yeah.
And there's like this weird sort of sense of like we're all here together having a good time thing. That is less apparent when behind you is just a stage wall.
Dude, remember those Zoom shows? You ever do that shit?
No.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No, I wouldn't have done it.
I did it.
For money?
No, just because it was like, oh, I'll entertain some people in the middle of the day, and they're just like,
record it.
oh, God, dude.
I watched
Slow
some
as death.
people bomb at the Laugh Factory doing stand-up for no audience.
Yes.
And it was so weird, like the steps they were taking to make sure everyone was safe. They put you in a giant hamster bubble and fucking roll you up to the stage.
No.
No.
They bubble boyed you?
No, I'm joking.
I would have done that for sure. I would have loved to have been the little...
Imagine they develop a hamster chute and you just roll out from the green room.
Yes.
Okay. Sam Tallent, ready to launch.
Yeah.
You roll onto the stage.
I would
so
keep
no one
rolling,
contacts
dude. I would
anybody.
go right through the door. Gravity has a weird effect on a man of my size.
So people were on that stage with a microphone and no audience.
Yeah.
So weird.
You need an audience. You can't practice stand-up in a vacuum.
It doesn't work.
That's why it's like the only like pure way of entertaining.
Look at Tim Dillon when he does his show. He
Yeah.
has an audience of one,
Uh-huh.
the producer.
Yeah, but he's a once-in-a-fucking-generation broadcaster, dude.
Yeah, he is.
Tim's the dog.
He's a man.
I gotta hang out with Tim so much. See him interact with people. Fucking rules.
He's the fucking man.
One
He's
time-
the greatest ranter of all time.
He was like, some lady came in and was super annoying in Australia, and then he like said some shit to her, and she laughed, and I was laughing, and he was like, "Here's what people don't know: I'm a new money homosexual from Long Island. I'm a problem. People forget. People forget about me because I look like this. No, I'm nasty." I was just like howling, dude, slapping my legs.
He's the man.
He's the greatest. He put me on, dude. I fucking loved him.
He's so funny, and he's such a good person.
Generous,
He's fun.
dude.
He's a fun guy.
That's the weird thing about meeting.
Crazy
like,
as fuck, too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. Undiagnosed,
There's definitely some shit going on. But it makes good real estate choices, too.
Dude.
His fucking rants, though, what he's doing is he's developing material like in a laboratory.
Yeah.
It's so good because he's gotten that muscle of doing that. Ranting is so strong now because he's used to putting them together. It was funny we were talking about it because he's like all day long now. I can't relax because I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna what's my take on this? What am I
Yeah.
gonna say about that? I'm mad about this. What am I mad at? What am I getting off about? I'm like, oh, right, because you have to come up with all of it yourself. So you have to have like valid things that are gonna capture people. I want to see his take on Dillon Mulvaney. I bet it's amazing.
I bet it is nuanced and profound and vulgar and smart.
I bet it's amazing.
Dude, Tim and I, when we were on the road together, he would just like find a really expensive house and arrange a viewing of the house. And we'd go in and like waste some realtor's time for an hour. Like she'd be like, and these are the windows. And he'd be like, very good, Charlotte, And then she'd turn and he'd be like, dog shit, trash. I wouldn't even kill someone in this room. It's hell. It sucks. It could be good. Might be bad.
Why does he go and look at houses?
Because it's something to do on the road.
That's so weird.
One time a lady took us upstairs and it was like the downstairs was beautiful and the upstairs was just like leftover materials, total rush job. And we're like, oh, fuck. And she like grabs us and takes us into the bedroom and she points at the fire alarms and she's like, these are about to be the industry standard. These are big. These are going to take the world by storm.
Fire
and Tim
alarms.
turns to me and he goes, it's not good when she's selling the fire alarms. The house is bad. The house is bad when that's the selling point upstairs.
He told me he was talking about like what he does on the internet. Like I watch a lot of YouTube videos, mostly nonsense shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm on Zillow.
He is, dude,
He's on
nonstop.
Zillow. He's looking at houses constantly.
I know.
But I mean, that's what his original thing was.
Those
Sold
are his-
subprime mortgages.
Oh, yeah, he
He was
scammed
a part of the
America.
crisis.
Yeah, he fleeced the nation.
Bro, have you seen when he does Meghan McCain?
Yeah, of
This
course.
Meghan McCain, that is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Apparently she doesn't like it, which I
No
can
way.
understand. I can understand. It's not a slight against you that he does this, by the way. That is not you.
Yeah.
That is a ridiculous, comedic caricature.
Yes.
He's invented a character.
It's a lampoon, Megan.
Yeah, he's invented a completely different character than you.
Uh-huh.
He's just, wouldn't it be funny if Megan McCain was this insane?
Yeah.
It's just like, holy shit.
Also, Megan McCain secretly has huge breasts, which Tim pointed out to me.
Oh, are they secret?
I don't know. She does a good job keeping them under wraps. It's crazy when a gay guy points out a cool set of hooters and you're like, I want to see the world through your eyes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, he studied her.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he studied her for that piece. Like a predator.
Yeah, it's like,
Like a bobcat.
he's
looking
like
at a
that
chicken.
falcon getting let loose out of the window, dude.
And- yeah.
That's how Tim sees the world. It's prey.
Oh. Yeah.
He's the man.
He is the man. I was so excited when he decided to come out here, too.
Oh, he's so excited
It's
about
fun
being
hanging
here. Let me
around.
tell you. He loves it in Austin.
He hates Austin, the
I
city.
know.
He loves the club, though. But he hates everywhere.
Of course.
That's half the fun of Tim.
Dude, Tim will call me and he's like, I'm going to get off the road for a couple months. And then like a week later, I see his dates. And it's like, you're a fucking gypsy, dude.
He's not going off the road.
No, he loves it out there.
He also keeps houses in a bunch of different states. He likes
Yes, he
doing that.
does. Yep.
But what we talked about the week after he moved here, we had a deep freeze where it fucking rained, freezing rain for like 5 days in a row and shut everything down.
Yeah.
And I had him on the podcast right afterwards. He goes, "We were considering suing you." Where the fuck did you move me? It's like, that never happens, dude. It happened again this year.
Yeah.
It happens.
Tim will call you and he's just in the middle of a conversation he's been having with himself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be like, Duncan Trussell's got a puppet. What's going on there? Like, that's how you say hello?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Are we allowing puppets now?
It's good. It works. But it could be bad. Tim, the whole trick to doing Tim is you say one thing and then say it could be bad.
Right.
Yeah.
You go the opposite way.
Bud Light, transgender. Could be good. Could be bad.
Yeah, this is what's stupid about the world today. Our conversation about Bud Light and Dillon Mulvaney is
Yeah.
going to make news.
Oh, yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Uh-huh. I'm on the side of everybody having a nice cold Bud Light.
Yeah, I'm not into Bud Light at all anyway. So for me...
Can I have that other one?
Yeah, you can have it.
Nice.
It's not my thing.
Thanks, man.
I get it. People like a cold, bland drink. I
Hey,
get
Tongue,
it.
take
I like
the day
a
off.
Zima.
I'm
I
on
like
Bud
a-
Light.
I like a Zima.
Yeah, you like to test the metal of your mouth.
But I just like, I think it's funny when people. I saw a really funny one. Somebody took Travis Tritt. There's a photo of Travis Tritt, and it said like that Travis Tritt will no longer sell Anheuser-Busch because of Dillon Mulvaney.
Yeah.
And then it said also Travis Tritt, and he's basically wearing like the most feminine like country leather outfit, like a blue leather outfit
Yeah.
with like strings hanging down from it, like one of the most unmanly looking, like tight leather pants, high heels.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find that.
Dude, we're so lucky we're comics because if we tried that shit, we would get lit up, dude.
For sure.
There's so many comics who keep me grounded. It rules.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, getting lit up is very important.
Yeah, the group chat.
No, that's not it, but that's one of them. He was wearing like some that kind of shit. Yeah, that's it right there. But it said also Travis Tritt and it showed this outfit.
Navajo grandma,
Can you
Travis
imagine
Tritt.
if that guy came over, he was dating your daughter, and it wasn't Travis Tritt? It was Travis Tritt. He gets a pass. Obviously, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't Travis Tritt and this guy came over, it's like, where do you work, man?
Meineke.
What do you do that you have that outfit?
I sell brake pads.
You're going to fucking Chili's baby back ribs with that fucking outfit on?
Yeah.
What are you doing, buddy? There it is. That's the picture. That's the picture.
He
That's the picture.
rules.
This is also Travis Tritt.
Good for Travis.
Good for Travis. Low cut shirt.
That guy's not into transgender stuff, but
I
he
don't
had his
know why.
hair. He's spent so much time in a salon.
That's exactly the point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Maybe we hate what we fear we are.
It's like that Guns N' Roses song, Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Down, 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 down.
No, no, no.
Live and let die. That's when I first came to L.A., right after the Guns N' Roses scene had busted loose. It was
Damn.
like 1994. That's when I first came to L.A. It was so different then, man. Whew. Such a weird place. It was like this like launching pad for dreams. That's what it felt like when you got there. Everyone was just there to pursue a dream. There was like electricity in the air. When you're in your 20s, and you're in LA and you're like, everyone's trying to make it. People are trying to get on sitcoms and thing go out again.
Of course.
And yeah, these you got to
I'm
keep
0 for
puffing
8
on
over
these.
here.
They're tightly, but they're nice. They're a nice pull, but they're a little tight.
You see that picture going around with it too?
Hell yeah.
So he was drinking Bud Light with a transgender person.
Yeah, in 2003.
Hell yeah.
Well, he changed his views.
People evolve. People change, Kid Rock.
He got a little tense. I mean, I think when it became so prevalent, people start to panic.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know, it's like, what is happening here? Like, what are we doing? Why is it so prevalent?
People evolve. Maybe people feel safer to come out and be themselves.
It could
you know?
be that.
Yeah.
It could be that. It can also be people, just like people are easily influenced in any way. People are influenced in a way that if there was something that came along, anything that came along that gave you a sense of belonging to a group, and then a sense of being praised for that, and then a sense that you're in part of a new movement. Like, all those things are very attractive to people, no matter what it is. If it involves religion, if it involves gender, if it involves whatever ideology. If you all of a sudden can become a group, you're in a group, you're praised for being a part of that group and praised for your decisions, and you get all this attention now. And you also get this feeling that you are on the right side, and there's a righteous element to it. This could be with anything, and this is how, you know, people get sucked into all sorts of stuff. And then there's also gender dysphoria, which is absolutely
which is
real.
legit, yeah,
100% real.
Yeah.
And it's a psychological condition that's existed forever.
Yeah.
They don't understand it because biology is strange. And that's the reality of being a human being. There's so much variation. There's so many variables. There's so many things that can go right, so many things that go sideways, so many things that are odd or queer, as it were.
Right.
There's weird things. You know, that's why, like my number one beef with people that get like really religious is the gay stuff. Like, what do you want them to do? Are you or are you not pro freedom?
Right, dude. Freedom is the big thing.
Freedom's the
Liberty,
big thing. So
pursuit of happiness.
I'm telling
Fuck
you, these
yeah,
guys
dude.
are happy when they fuck guys.
Hell yeah, good for them.
I know a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They're all being honest.
They're happier than me. They're doing great.
It's, again, go down Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah.
There's 5 blocks of guys having a great fucking time.
Go to Tim Dillon's hotel room.
Yeah. Don't go to Tim. Leave him alone.
Yeah, no, dude. I just think that it's really
Some
weird
things
to
you
be.
can't unsee.
Oh, yeah, or unsmell. There's just like people who are so obsessed with the idea of expressing themselves, and they get mad at other people for doing the same thing because it weirds them out, dude.
You know what I think it is? It's one of those things where if you buy into this side of the group, you have to adopt a bunch of different ideas. And all those ideas, like, you can't be like pro-life, but also think that we need to take away all the guns.
Oh yeah.
No one's gonna let you in their group.
No.
Like, what side are you on, you crazy fuck? You're a pro-life person who thinks that we should take everyone's guns.
Yeah.
No. Pro-life is over there with the First Amendment. You're carrying your mama with a gun. You know, you're on the wrong team.
Also, pro-life. You never whoopsied in a girl in El Paso.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, exactly. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Well, the conversation about that I've had with people with religious people, particularly this one guy, was very weird because it was like his thought was at conception.
Oh, no.
So it's like, what if it's the day of?
Yeah.
What if the day of? And you can just take something and
Take
then
a pill.
it vanishes. Like, we're talking about like 2 cells.
Yeah.
Nope. No, it does. 2 wrongs don't make a right, even under rape. They were talking about raping children being raped. And I was like, you're out of your fucking mind, man. This is crazy talk.
Also, it's not pro-life or anti-life. It's pro-choice, anti-choice. That's the whole framework.
But if I was a conspiracy theorist, if I was a real tinfoil hat guy,
Let's
I
get
would
into it.
say, if I wanted to keep everybody fighting against each other,
Oh, yeah.
my chess move would be conservatives get rid of Roe v. Wade. Let's get rid, fucking arms in the streets, and then liberals, let's start pushing the most radical ideas and try to make them mainstream. the most radical ideas, like exorbitant taxes for the wealth, income inequality, like ignore all the money the same side is pumping into the military-industrial complex. Ignore all the influence of the pharmaceutical companies. Just concentrate on social ideas.
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
push them and get wacky people in your cabinet, even if these people are totally incompetent.
Yeah.
If you can say this is the most diverse cabinet that's ever been assembled, and that's what they do say.
Yeah.
And then you got that fucking crazy dude with the beard who wears a dress, who's non-binary, steals women's luggage.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking dude is in the White House in charge of like getting rid of nuclear waste or some shit.
Yeah. Let's get a wig on that guy.
Fucking amazing though when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
If I wanted to keep people divided and not pay attention to centralized digital currency, which Tulsi Gabbard's freaking out about now, that they're trying to do that. If I wanted to keep people ignorant of that stuff, that's what I would do. I would move the cultural chess pieces in a way that I have the loudest fringe people on this side and the loudest fringe people on that side, so that all the people that generally agree on most stuff don't ever get along.
Yeah.
Because they're either on this side or that side, and that side is represented by a dude with a beard and a dress who steals women's luggage, and this side is represented by that fucking lady who assaulted me in Aspen. It's like, Trump's our real president. I knew you're a patriot. Like, oh no. It's
man.
like, you don't want to be associated with these people.
No.
You don't want to be associated with these people. You don't want to be associated with anti-vaxxers, and you don't want to be associated with, whatever, fucking fill in the blank that this side hates.
There's no war but
Religious
class war,
ideologues.
dude. Yeah.
But it's almost like it's engineered.
Oh, it
Like,
is for sure. They tried to use class war, and then people realized that, money does move everything, so they saw through that. Then they tried to use race against each other. Race got together, so now it's ideologies, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. And then they can
And-
do whatever they fucking want behind the curtain because our eyes have the wool pulled over so egregiously.
And then there's this beautiful component of climate change.
Oh, yeah.
They throw that in there too.
Yeah.
And this is one that people duke it out over. The people on the right say it's not that big of a deal, and it's like it's a natural cycle, and it's a this and a that. And most of these people are they're pumping out these narratives without even really paying attention to the facts. And then there's other people that say, we're going to boil in 30 years. The ocean's going to boil. We're all going to die.
Yeah.
But the more time goes on, the more we look at this whole trend of the weather, the more it occurs to me, at least, that it's never been stable, ever, in the history of the world. It's all fucking like this and that, and it goes ice age, and it gets crazy hot, and it goes cold again. It's like, it's always done that. It's not like if we don't do anything, it just stays stable. So let's just say that right away. Even if we didn't exist, this fucking thing is not stable. Even if we did not exist. So then the question is, how much do we affect it? And we definitely affect it.
For sure.
There's no chance we don't. We're pumping gas into the atmosphere. Like what kind of an effect? It's having a warming effect. Like, how bad is that warming effect? That's what we need to know. And what do we have to do to stop that warming effect, or at least slow down that warming effect? That's what we need to know. But all this fucking panic and hysteria, and you need to get rid of this and get rid of that, and we're going to go all electric. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you, pro-lithium mining in the Congo?
Yeah.
Is that what you are? Are
Yeah.
you pro-child slavery to get cobalt?
Right.
So where are you getting these batteries? How are you getting 8 billion people to move around electric cars? Where do you get those minerals? You don't. They literally don't exist.
No, there's not enough.
There's not enough.
But there's also no ethical consumption under capitalism and all that fucking Marxist stuff, that's like true but also sounds tried at this point. So it's like, I think that we'll be lucky if we make it to 100 years to see the seas boil without some kind of economic collapse crushing us, so we're out there selling our holes for bullets and salt.
Well, I think we're going to have an economic collapse, but I don't think the whole world will. I think what happens is
but don't
just
we move
what
the
always
needle on the
happens.
world, though?
For now, but what happens is what always happens. A new empire takes over.
Sure, China.
And
China's
it's-
using quantum computers to hack all of our fucking shit, dude. They're saving all of our information to the point where they can get quantum computers. And then they can hack everyone's PIN codes and bank accounts and just steal all the money from America. That's the big move.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's TikTok.
So yeah, well, that's part of it, dude.
TikTok's the Trojan horse.
Yeah.
I got to put my money in gold.
Yeah, dude. So what?
You know, there's only enough. Did you see this? I saw this the other day. The amount of gold in the world is so small. It's crazy. The amount of gold in the world is something like 75 feet square.
What?
Yeah,
I thought they had vaults full of it from floor to ceiling.
I thought so too. The actual
Knox.
amount of gold in the world, they said, was like the size of a cricket pitch.
What? We
Something
gotta.
like that. Is that bullshit?
No, it goes up.
We got to
It
leave
goes
here
up.
and go get some gold.
Like it's volume. It's not just going to cover it.
Right,
1
but
inch,
yeah, but I mean like the size, but 75 feet square.
As like a solid brick.
That's like it's showing pictures of it on the
Can you show
Wimbledon
me?
court. Yeah, but it's like it's.
But can you show me what it looked
towering.
like on the Wimbledon court?
It's towering.
Okay,
It's
it's
like
Oh,
43
but
meters
still,
high.
but it's still not that much. That's the whole world. So it's
It's like half of a twin tower.
75 feet high, and how long is it?
It's using very strange ways.
What is it saying?
Metric tons.
Okay, so it's 208,874 tons of gold has been mined throughout history, of which around 2/3 have been mined since 1950. And since gold is virtually indestructible, this means almost all of this metal is still around in one form or another. Wow.
But is owning gold going to help you when I'm like on a leash from a warlord, you know?
Do you
They're
know-
eating off my back?
Do you know the most fun conspiracy theory about gold?
No.
It's a really good one. It's from the work of Zechariah Sitchin, who was one of the guys who translated the ancient Sumerian texts. And he believed that the human race is a product of accelerated evolution, and that the Sumerian text depicts these godlike beings called the Anunnaki who come here from a planet called Nibiru that's on an elliptical orbit. Every 3,600 years it comes between us and Mars. It causes cataclysms because of the gravity and all the chaos. But that these beings came down here and inserted their DNA into lower primates and created this being. And one of the reasons why it came here was because gold is very difficult to find in the universe. Now, if that's the truth about the Earth only has that much gold, imagine that one of the reasons why these beings gave us this desire to have gold, why gold was so popular always early on, and it was a useless metal. So what if it was pretty? Why? How come you could buy a house with bags of gold? Shouldn't you have steel for a sword or for arrowheads or something like that? Well, anything would be more valuable. Well, salt was very valuable.
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
time. But this is different because this is like a form of money. Like, why has it universally been regarded as valuable, like really early on? And what he said was that they realized that they could take these suspended particles of gold and put them in their atmosphere, and it would protect them because their atmosphere was eroding. And so this would be like reflective particles they spray in the atmosphere.
Like what Bill Gates wants to do, where he like blocks.
So this
out
is
the
what's
sun.
crazy about this. This guy wrote about this in like the 1970s. He wrote this, what is it called? The 12th Planet, I think. That was the first of them. I think he wrote multiple books on this, on the Sumerian text. But I think it was like the 1970s or somewhere around then, they were having this sort of symposium on what to do in the sense of like ozone depletion and climate change. Like, is there a way to suspend reflective particles in the atmosphere to block out some of the harmful rays of the sun? So that was their idea. So what this book is trying to say is the reason why humans are obsessed with gold is because like the aliens designed us to mine and get the gold, and then they would use that gold to protect their atmosphere.
So they impregnated us with this idea that gold has value.
Yeah.
Because they need it to enhance their ability to keep living.
It's a fun idea.
It's
a
very
fun
fun.
idea.
All that
if,
shit's
if you're
fun.
if you're doing bong hits and you're like
If you're
watching
high on
documentaries,
hallucinogenic honey, and you hear Joe Rogan saying it in your head.
it's cool when you see Zechariah Sitchin too, because he's this like very scholarly looking gentleman with an awesome name, and he's like pointing out all these different things like the caduceus, the sign of medicine, like the universal sign of medicine.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the double helix of DNA. That's what that is. That's why it snakes around like that. And he says, and it represents medicine in ancient Sumer. And it also, like, it's present in these very weird stone tablets. And some of these stone tablets have images of this, like, enormous being with this human-like creature on its lap, but the thing has a tail. Whoa. It's really weird. It's really weird stuff. And they also had a depiction of the entire solar system, all the planets in the solar system, and roughly the same size and roughly the same place. So they had an idea of what planets were out there in 6,000 BC, or whatever it was, 5,000 BC. That's fucking insane.
It doesn't make any sense
How
based
did
on everything we know now.
It's fucking insane, and it's wild to look at. Like, you see this clay tablet, and it has what is like clearly the sun in the center. Like, look at this thing. How wild is that?
Are the Anunnaki the albino ones? Are those the albino aliens?
I don't know that. I don't know anything about that.
I'm only like familiar with the Chariots of the Gods type shit.
Yeah, Chariots of the God is interesting too. I
Hell
met
yeah.
that guy.
Really?
Yeah, Eric Von Daniken. Yeah, I went to a lunch. This very wealthy guy that I know is interested in this kind of stuff, and I think one of his friends was as well. And so they decided to have this guy come over, and they said, like, do you know anybody who knows a lot about this stuff? And then my friend called me up and said, do you want to come and talk to Eric Von Daniken?
Yes.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So I went to
Let's
sat
go.
next to this guy. I was asking him all these questions. I think he's a true believer. He's a true believer. He's a true believer that all these things are created by aliens, whether it's the pyramids or all these other structures that are impossible to do today. I'm a believer that all those structures are most likely the evidence of a super advanced civilization that existed that got wiped out by meteors.
And also that they like conducted energy, right?
They did something different
Yeah.
than we're doing. No one really knows.
And they're all
It's just
built along the
guesswork.
same lines, right? Like the Nazca lines.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Nazca lines is different. That's in Peru. That's really interesting stuff because it is enormous things that are laid out on the sand or on the ground that you can't see unless you're in the sky. It's real weird. And some of them look like landing strips. It's like, what were they doing?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no one knows.
No.
I think most of that stuff that they keep finding, like the structures of Göbekli Tepe and all these other structures they find around the world, they don't really know where they came from. I think a lot of that is probably evidence of some shit that existed a long time ago, and they got wiped out. And
This
there's
served a
lot of
purpose
evidence.
globally too, though.
Yeah.
There had to be some kind of like mass communication to arrange those structures, right?
Well, at least in the people that were in that area. What's interesting to me is the most spectacular ones all came from Africa. And we know human beings all came from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And the most spectacular ever in the history of humanity still exist in Egypt. And they're like, at the very most recent they could be is like 4,500 years old, which is bananas.
Dude.
It's bananas. It's like, what was going on down then?
Also, all those cities, like the one in Peru that's built
Oh,
at
yeah,
like
Machu Picchu.
12,000 feet or whatever.
Fuck,
How do
dude.
you get the fucking stones
How
up there,
the
dude?
fuck did that happen?
I'm going down there with my dad in May.
The wackiest theory I heard was that used to be at the base of water, and that everything out in front of that at
Right.
one point in time, many, 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 many thousands of years ago, was all water.
Yeah. It
I
was
don't
on
know
the
if that's
beach,
ever
effectively.
been substantiated, or that might be just a wacky theory. But if it's not, how did they do that?
Dude.
And how do they made them so they're all like kind of jigsaw pieces and they all slide right
Right.
into each other?
Yeah.
And they're fucking enormous.
And they're perfectly fit together.
Yeah.
It's not just like random, like fill in with mortar. No.
These guys are artists and engineers and wizards. Like, how the fuck did they do that?
Yeah, it's crazy to be a mason and also be able to design some kind of structure that can communicate and or create energy to empower people who live almost 2 miles high. That shit's beyond any kind of fathoming that I can do.
Well, what's really weird is that a lot of them have these structures that are designed in mirror of the cosmos too. So they're very aware of, they're very aware of all the stars in the sky and all the constellations, and they put a lot of it in their design. They did it in Mexico. The Aztecs did it. The Mayans did it. Just imagine if there's one time I could go back and see what the fuck was life like.
Yeah.
I think it would be ancient Egypt.
Okay.
They're like, what were you guys doing? How the fuck did you do this? Like, what was life like? What kind of people were around back then? We have like some bodies, but the body's a lot. Do you know that Cleopatra, she lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than she did to the construction of the pyramids?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Cleopatra was not that long ago.
Whoa. When was she around?
I think a couple thousand years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What
See
about
that?
the-
What time was Cleopatra though? Around?
Died somewhere in the range of 50 to 30 BC.
Yeah. So a little less than 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the pyramids were 2,500 years at least before that,
Fuck, dude.
and maybe more.
What about the Maoris?
Oh
Those
my
dudes
God.
who navigated all the way to Hawaii
Yeah.
in fucking kayaks by
Yeah.
by the stars?
Fucking kayaks.
I'd go back there. I'd see what those boys were up to.
Hardcore shit.
You just
dude.
launch off of your island and you're like, fingers crossed, we're going to find some other shit out there.
Fingers crossed you didn't get caught in
Or
a
they
hurricane.
knew, or someone told them there was shit out there. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I bet they went on fishing voyages, and I bet they just kept going further and further out. And
Really?
if you do it over time and you figure out how to get back, they probably just, I don't think they did it all in one crazy trip.
No, but I think that
They
they had
probably-
expeditions that they would probably report back from lesser islands, come back, be like,
Yeah.
now we have set up over here.
Right, because you probably didn't even know where the islands were.
No.
How
Your
the fuck
fingers
could you
crossed
know?
you're gonna find land.
Imagine finding Hawaii.
Yeah.
Imagine you're out there in the middle of the ocean, like, dude, I think we're fucked. We're gonna die out here.
Yeah.
Like I think we're only in the middle, so we don't have any more water.
All we have is coconut milk.
And then all of a sudden you look and you see waterfalls and shit. You're like, oh! No wonder why they're so happy.
They're stoked. Yeah.
It's like always been a vacation spot.
Yeah. And also, I understand why they defended it so hard.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's like your rights to be met at the Dole Corporation, you know?
Well, it's also weird that's. I mean, I think it deserves all the protection of America. Don't get me wrong, but it's weird that Hawaii isn't its own country because it's 5 hours in a plane
Yeah.
over the ocean.
You're pretty much in Japan.
You're in the middle.
Yeah.
You really. I think it's the most remote place you can travel to.
The most remote large city is Honolulu. Yeah.
There's 1 million people in Honolulu.
For sure. Yeah. Most of them are Japanese.
Really?
Hell yeah, dude. That city
Most
is
of
like all like it's built on like the Japanese like way of life. That's why they're so efficient. And the
Really?
buses in Honolulu are always on time.
No shit.
Yeah, and that food they have out there, I get it. I get why they're furious that they've been ruined by American capitalism.
People with Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Like big fat guys like me out there just ruining their sunsets with my weird nude body.
Just drinking and getting drunk and wanting to. Where's the fucking luau,
Yeah.
bro?
Why is there gravy on your hamburgers?
They do have gravy in their hamburgers.
Mocha
what do they call
Loco.
that? That's right, Mocha Loco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like guys like me chugging those, having a bunch of Bud Lights, going down to the water.
Hunting wild pigs.
Oh, dude, how about those dudes who hunt? They wear like, they have their dogs wearing boar vests.
Yeah.
Do you know about that shit? Of course you know about
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I know about that shit.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Down in
the
Arkansas.
dogs, they do it in Hawaii too, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dogs hold the boar down and they stab it.
Glad those dogs haven't got me.
Yeah, that's a rough way to do it, man.
Yeah. Savaged by dogs.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like with a lot of those pigs, you can't get to them. Like they're really smart. They smell you and they take off 1,000,000 miles away. And like the winds in Hawaii swirl all over the place. It's very difficult for a person to like do anything about invasive species without some help.
Pigs are so smart.
That's why they use dogs.
Yeah.
It's because of the terrain for the most part. It's rough, man. The dogs like clamp down on. They use pit bulls, and the pit bulls clamp down on the boars and hold them in place.
And they get fucked up by those boars, too.
Oh, they get fucked up.
Yeah.
They get fucked up bad. I mean, boar. I'll show you a boar that I shot in California. I have the skull out here.
All right.
The teeth are fucking bizarre, man. They're these crazy choppers that come out like this far, like almost like halfway up his face, and they sharpen each other as they close.
No.
Yeah. Oh no, that's another animal. That's javelina. Javelinas,
yeah.
their teeth sharpen each other as they close. Javelinas have crazy sharp teeth.
So throughout their life, they're just constantly getting more and more honed?
Well, it just like keeps it sharp. Like
Wow.
I don't have it here, but I have one that I shot and I turned into chorizo. And
Nice.
you, when you run your finger across the blade of its skull, it's like whoa, like that. The blade that comes out of the bottom teeth. That's what they look like.
Whoa.
So they close and they actually sharpen each other. They scissor. The bottom ones are fucking crazy
Look
sharp.
at that. That would destroy your leg.
That's
Like
what
it's
it
in
looks
your
like.
calf
See that
meat?
picture of it with its mouth open? That's what it looks like. We go to the one that's actually alive.
Look at
that's,
that
that's
rat
just
pig.
That's fake. That's a real one. When they do a mount like that, that's not their real teeth or their real tongue.
That
It's
looks
all-
like
it's
a
all
little
plastic.
pig bear.
I know. It's not even a pig. It's a cousin of a pig. It's called a peccary.
Oh, it's a
It's a different
peccary.
kind of animal.
They're all over like Oklahoma on the side of the road. You'll see
Actually, you could
javelinas.
eat them. They taste good. Though if you prepare them correctly, I made chorizo and eggs the other day with javelina meat.
I'd eat that shit easy.
Whack. They scream.
Look how
They make crazy noises.
look how aerodynamic it is.
Yeah, look at them go.
It looks regal.
They
That's
make,
me in the water.
They
dude.
make crazy little demon noises. I was pig hunting once, and we were walking down this dirt trail, and there was this really high grass to the right of us, and inside the high grass, yeah, that's the noises they make.
Going after that pumpkin.
Listen to the noises,
Get along, boys.
bro. I mean, they sound like little demons.
Yeah.
They're mean and they won't share. that pumpkin. But we were walking down this trail, and to the right of us is this high grass, and inside were wild pigs, and they
Yeah.
were fighting. And dude, it sounded like demon shit. It sounded like Lord of the Rings stuff. It's I was like, Jesus Christ!
It's like Mordor.
Like if we were hunting demons, and that's just what they looked like,
Turn around.
it'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
Like hearing that noise coming out of the grass was like, what the fuck? And they will charge you too.
Yeah.
That's what's scary about wild pigs. They'll fucking go after you.
Don't pigs turn feral like within
Really quick.
2 weeks or something
I
crazy?
think it's like they start to morph within 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, they grow tusks like real quick within a year.
Well, their face elongates.
Yeah.
That's like this was all explained to me by Steve Ranella. He was the guy actually that I was pig hunting with when we heard him in the grass like demons. It was the craziest noise, dude. So he said that this one species, people say wild boars and it's all one species. It's called Sus scrofa, and they're all like interchangeable. They just selectively breed them for different things, but it's one species, which is nuts. So like when like a domestic pig gets out, like some of these pigs that you ever heard of Hogzilla?
Yeah.
Hogzilla is this giant wild boar they caught. He said that's most likely that was a domestic pig that somebody fattened up and got real enormous, and then it broke out, and it just made its way to the woods.
So your
and then it
classic
became
pink
feral.
pig became Hogzilla.
Their hair changes. It gets thicker and darker, and they just look totally different.
Nature.
It's wild, dude, because it's like they're like gremlins.
Yeah.
Like the gremlins, and they feed them after midnight. That's what happens to the pigs. They're like, we're cool as long as you feed us and keep us in a
Keep us
fucking
fat and
barn.
happy.
Yeah, keep us in this like contained, fenced area.
Yeah.
We're good.
That's
But
like
if you
the
let me
majority
loose-
of Americans. And then as soon as like you can't get food anymore,
Right.
they're gonna turn and start eating each other.
That's what it is.
We're gonna be fucking eating each other's
Walking
kids
Dead.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. The Last of Us.
I don't
Same
think I'll
shit.
do well in that situation.
You might rise to the occasion, buddy.
Dude, I'm trying.
I
Because
think you
like
might.
comedians will be the first against the wall and they'll use like my back for leather for their chariots. But, like my wife's a doctor, so she's gonna be very valuable. They're gonna want her.
Right. So
I'll
maybe
just be like an ox, I'll have a yoke in my mouth pulling the carts.
maybe your football and wrestling experience could come in handy.
Oh, I would fucking eat someone real quick, dude.
How quick?
Easy. As soon as
Power
I
goes
need
out
to.
for 2 months.
2 months, 4.5 days.
4.5
I'm going
days
next
later.
door with my Mossberg, being like, "What do you got in here? Who's ripe? Hand it over." I have no problem with cannibalism for some reason.
Would you want to kill and eat the people that were a problem first? Just like clean up society, Dexter style?
No, I'm still lazy. It'd be proximity. It would be whatever was in my grasp.
I bet you wouldn't be lazy. You'd probably lose a lot of weight. Your joints would feel better
Oh yeah,
because you wouldn't be doing whatever you're doing now. You'd be trying to find food.
whatever I'm
So
doing.
you would also like only be drinking water because
Yeah.
that's probably all that's available.
If
Once
I'm
everybody
lucky,
like cleans out all the warehouses of soda, this is going to be a few people that hoard soda. It'll be a
Right.
thing. Like you bust it open for special occasions. Hey, I got a bottle of Dr Pepper in the basement.
I got some vintage Surge over here.
Yeah. They'll bust out a fucking Pepsi. He's got Pepsi. Has it still got bubbles?
Yeah. It'd be a
Oh
can
my
this
God,
big. It'd be
it's
like
got
8
bubbles.
glasses. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
this is amazing.
It'd be sacrament at that point.
right.
Yeah.
That would be what would happen. Pepsi would become our sacred beverage that we would drink on weddings and,
If you were
when
super
you crown
rich,
a new king.
RC Cola. That's how you know you made it in the apocalypse.
No, Jones. Like Jones. So like
Jones is good.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Real
Like,
sugar?
if you have a case, if you have a case of like some fucking
Yeah.
some artisan soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're watching this show Yellow Jackets, me and my wife, and they're all like upset about having to eat one of their friends. I don't
What
give
is
a
Yellow
shit.
Jackets? They eat their friends?
There's a bunch of girls who
You
got
just
like
said that so easily.
Well, yeah, it's fictional. It's not a documentary. But these girls get like trapped in the woods on like they're on like a soccer team or whatever, and their plane goes down, and they have to eat one of the girls after she dies. It's like she's already dead.
Yeah, if she's already dead, it's not that big of a deal.
Munch her. But here's the issue with eating someone after they died. If they starve, they don't have any nutrients in their body.
Is that
So
true?
eating them, yeah, like they've already leached all the nutrients out to go
Where
to
you-
their
where you
liver
hearing
and
this?
heart. What's up?
Where are you hearing this?
Like shipwreck books?
Really?
Yeah. I've read a lot of books about like,
So their
like shipwrecks.
their meat won't have
It's not valuable.
vitamins and-
Yeah.
It's not valuable if they're starving to death?
Yeah, because they've like used all of their nutrients to keep their organs alive.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
so it's like
interesting.
eating styrofoam at that
That
point.
makes sense because if you eat healthy things, it's probably healthier.
Yeah.
That's why wild game's so good for you.
Right.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Like eating elk heart rules
Right.
compared to eating just like a guy who died in the hospital.
That guy who got Cannibalism. It's perfectly natural. A new scientific history argues. Okay. Whatever. That's what they're trying to normalize next after they normalize the Dalai Lama?
Where do these libs end?
Is that what they're doing? Fucking cannibalism? First you want to indoctrinate my kids.
Suck
Then
on my
you-
tongue and
Then
bite
you
it
want
off.
minor, what is it? Minor attracted people?
Yeah, dude.
They tried that one for a
Fuck
little while.
that shit,
Get the
dude.
fuck out of here. That's
Get
pedophiles,
out of here. I'm
you
eating your
piece of
ass
shit.
first. Yeah.
100%.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah, get them while the nutrients are hot.
Yeah. Oh, give me that. Give me
Yeah.
that pedo meat.
Minor attracted people. What the
Fuck
fuck are you saying?
dude. Yeah.
I haven't heard of the medicinal What? I hadn't heard of the medicinal cannibalism you described in Europe, starting with the ancient Greek physician Galen of Pergamon and continued to the 20th century. That was one thing that really surprised me. What?
I told you they used to
The
eat
mummies.
skulls, yeah, and then
Yeah.
the mummy stuff. So
Yeah, they used to have mummy unwrappings at like fancy
Oh,
parties.
yeah.
So if you went to Tim Dillon's house, hey,
Yeah.
I'm having a mummy unwrapping. Come by. I'm gonna wear a Rolex.
On both wrists. I'm going to have a headband. It's a Rolex.
And he's gonna fucking unwrap mummies. And
Yeah.
you take a scoopful and put it in your tea.
That was like Great Gatsby shit, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gilded Age. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's the man.
I love the fake car. Like
Yeah.
a car that didn't really exist. Like there was no car that drove that well back then.
I never realized that.
Those cars were shit.
Huh.
That movie, The Great Gatsby,
Yeah.
that car that he has is like a resto mod. It's like a modern version of an old car. The thing was the shit.
Whoa.
I remember watching that thing going, that is so much better than any car that existed back then. Like, what is that thing supposed to be? Like that thing, when he drove it around, that thing is amazing.
Look at that hat.
Like the way that thing drove in that movie is like literally impossible for one of those things. Those things were dog shit.
there's
Great
an
Gatsby.
older one.
That's an older one.
Those white wall tires.
So that's a real one. But let me tell you something. If you drove that, it drives like dog shit. But now look at his. Look at Leonardo DiCaprio one. Look at that thing with the fucking pipes and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
See all that fucking wild action inside the engine compartment? That's all fake. That didn't exist back then. If it did, I'd have one. I'd be like, I need that fucking thing in my life. That thing is awesome. I love old cars, but I don't. See, those things drive like dog shit. That's the problem.
I like when a car looks like a snub-nosed pistol.
That looks pretty dope.
That's sick.
That looks pretty dope. But it's like those cars, like the one Leonardo DiCaprio had. If you watch, see if you can find him driving in the movie. It behaves in a way that no car from that era can. It moves like a modern car. It moves fast, and it's like it handles. It's like, no. See if you can find like some video of him driving.
Him and Toby.
It's beautiful looking though, man.
They're on the way to get some pussy.
Look at Tony. See how it's
Whoa.
cornering and shit? All
Yeah.
that? Like, not gonna happen. That you're dead. That thing's spinning out. It's 90% of its weight's in the front. It's got 0 horsepower. What does that fucking thing have for horsepower? Like, go back to one of them old ones and to tell me what they have. That old yellow one that looked like it. See what horsepower it had. I'm gonna guess. I bet it had 100 horsepower. Let's guess 100.
I'll take the under.
Yeah, it's got to be under.
It's probably under. Yeah, I'm probably way
Well,
overestimating.
So, oh, that's not the right one. Okay, thank God.
What year was it?
1928.
Wow. Okay, I'm under now. I'm under 100. Maybe 95. 95 horsepower.
It's crazy he wrote that book, and then at the same time, Sherwood Anderson was writing like Winesburg, Ohio, about people eating dirt. It's like these were two parallel thinking in like the modern novel at that point. It was nuts, man.
Well, that's happening right now, right?
Oh, in Haiti, they're eating dirt all the time.
I mean, you have people in some parts of the world that are essentially starving to death and drinking out of puddles.
Right, for
and
sure.
then you have Succession,
Right, yeah.
you know?
Don't spoil it.
I'm not spoiling.
All right.
It's great, though.
I know. I
But you
watched
know,
that
you
with
have
my
like
wife.
these fucking spoiled rich kids and
Okay.
their crazy
This makes
dad.
more sense.
And people get excited about it.
20 horsepower.
20.
20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me tell you something. In 20 horsepower, you're not doing any of that fishtailing. You're not doing any of that driving real fast. Like all that stuff. That thing is slow as fuck.
I feel like between the two of us, we have 10 horsepower.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 10 bitch ass horses.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Little miniature ponies.
No, we probably don't even have a horsepower.
Maybe.
No. No way,
We
man.
could pull.
No.
I'll be
Not like a
pulling.
horse. Horses carry people for days.
I've given some long
Look at that.
piggyback rides.
Bitch ass engine.
Whoa.
1923, the Merlin 23.
This says 1,200 horsepower. It says.
What?
It's a V12.
No.
That's what it says.
Maybe that's augmented.
That's why I was taking.
Was that
my
what?
time.
But
It
is
could
that an
be-
engine for a plane?
So I was about to say it might not be for a car.
Is that for a plane?
Probably.
That's crazy. That's probably huge, right?
Yeah, aero engine.
List of it's in marine variants, Jamie.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so that's a marine engine? Oh, they probably make like crazy yacht engines too.
Yeah, that's
Huge
why
boats.
the first one I found was bringing this up, a $28 million yacht-inspired Rolls-Royce that had like 500 horsepower.
What?
Yeah,
That's
The
what's next
Rolls
for
Royce is
Tim.
$28 million?
this thing.
What the fuck?
This Jay-Z bought one.
Of course he did. I'd buy one if I was Jay-Z too. You kind of have to have one if you're Jay-Z. It's
You
part
got
of
a
the
stunt.
package.
Yeah.
You got a stunt. You got to have a $2 million Richard Mille watch. What are those
Yeah.
called? Richard Mille. Yeah, that's it.
You can have Beyonce pushing around in like a 2007 Impala.
Exactly. Look at that thing. It's
Not
pretty,
bad.
but it's not $20 million pretty. I
Nothing
get it.
is.
It's pretty sick, though. The boat tail has echoes of something that it went away. Look at that. 2-door, removable roof. Removable roof.
Look at
Oh, the
that
deck
shit.
lid splits in two.
That's pretty sick.
Reveals an elaborate picnic camper. What? 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 Look at this.
See?
There's fucking glasses and champagne and shit in the back. It
No.
pops open.
That's what people
Oh
want.
my God!
only
You,
car.
what a piece of shit you'd have to be to get that car.
You pull up
and
to
drive
that.
to a picnic.
Oh
The only
my
car on
God.
Podcast Island is this.
Yes, our only car on Podcast Island.
Yes.
but that's half the cost of the fucking island.
So
Is
that's
it?
what's
Perfect
crazy.
place
Yeah,
to
the
keep-
island's
What's
like
the
40
island?
million.
Oh, you got that lying around?
That's what we're thinking.
Yeah. Get that island,
I
dude.
think I should make that Podcast
That
Island.
would be a hilarious goof. To have
would be a
Epstein's
hilarious
Our
goof.
parks
Island.
get recorded there only.
What's that?
Protect our island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only do protect our parks there. We're here to protect this island. We heard it's going to be taken over by the bankers. We decided to claim it for shit talking. Oh. Well, all right. Sam, I think we did at least 3 hours, right?
Yeah, man.
How many did we do? Three. Tell everybody your Instagram and all that jazz, your social media.
My Instagram is @SamTallent. Tallent.
Is that your real name?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Why would I have chosen talent and spelt it wrong?
Because you're talented.
Right, but
And
I
it's
would
like, it's better that it looks like fake.
Tallent.
Maybe regular Sam Talent was already taken. So you went
that's
with
me
two
right
L's.
there, man. Yeah.
If
Buy
you
my
had like
book.
Sam Talent 69, that's what I would think happened.
Yeah, 420 Sam Talent.
Read the novel Running the Lights right here.
Yeah. Buy it off my website, by the way. Fuck Amazon.
Yeah.
Buy it off samtalent.com, and I'll give you a signed copy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
ladies
I
and
ship it
gentlemen.
out. There's an
Get
audiobook
that.
if you're dumb.
That's me.
Yeah, yeah.
I love audiobooks.
Well, yeah,
Son
you're
of a
busy,
bitch.
though.
Son of a bitch.
You're
Did
on-
you
you're
read
on
it,
the
though?
move.
Did you read it?
No, I had Bert Kreischer, Tim Dillon. I had
Oh,
15
that's
different comics
right.
read every chapter.
The Burr one's going to be tough, but I'll get through
Yeah,
it.
he did the first one.
That's
I got
good. It's a nice
Kanane,
warm-up.
Ari, Dan Soder,
Nice.
David Bory. They all
Beautiful.
did great jobs.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Fantastic.
see me on the road.
Go see Sam Talent.
Yeah.
And if you hear this, you won't even know that he's here tonight. So because it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it comes out tomorrow. I'm there
Well-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
right.
412.
But it's already sold out, so tough shit.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
All
good
right.
news.
That's it.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're a
man.
very funny guy, and I really appreciate it. Very fun. All right. Bye, everybody.